Are you dealing with a personal injury? Don't go it alone. Turn to the experienced team at Phillips Law Firm. Their attorneys have helped thousands of clients get the compensation they deserve. Call Phillips Law Firm now. Call 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com. Looking to give the gift of pleasure? Add a little high heat to keep the desire burning. Or maybe you just need a little self-care. Come to Lovers for the best lingerie and toys to keep things hot this holiday. Save 20% on your purchase with Lovers Afterglow Rewards. Just mention LOVE20 at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow Rewards membership until November 30th. Some exclusions apply.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. All right, look. If you are a person married to a pregnant person, you knows what this is about. If you've ever, been married to a pregnant person or been with a pregnant person while they're pregnant, you know what it's like.
Oh, yeah.
You know what's going on. And so this dude, his wife had a pregnancy craving at work for a bowl of Fruit Loops with warm milk. With warm milk? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if I hate that.
I hate that.
Why?
Oh, I don't know, man.
BJ hates everything.
Well, I mean, okay, let's get past that part first.
Okay, really?
No.
Well, whoever pours warm milk in cereal?
No, I remember only having that when I was sick. So I have this, it's just gross to me. No, it needs to be cold as you can get milk.
I think I'd rather room temperature milk on my cereal.
Well,
Interesting.
you guys are not cereal connoisseurs.
But, yeah.
Hey, don't let me in with them, Vicky. I'm with you 100%.
This cereal and this cold milk, man, it's hitting the spot.
Oh, lukewarm milk is disgusting.
Have you ever tried warm milk in your cereal?
Yes, when it gets not cold.
No, warm.
That's my favorite part, though, when it stops being super cold and then you got the leftover cereal remnants in there and you just slurp it in.
Oh, God,
no. It
no.
needs to be cold.
Yeah, and those cereal remnants, that is just a mush of crabola.
I think he means the flavored milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the
like
the
Apple
mushy,
Jacks. All of a sudden, it's like Apple Jack flavored milk.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the mushy
warm.
cereal that's left.
Yeah, well, even still, I will then put it in the refrigerator and let that apple milk, get to a proper cold temperature.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'll just get a whole new bowl of cereal. And
Well, clearly we're not going to see eye to eye this Monday morning when it comes to the cereal
Well,
situation.
no, I think at this point, this really just shows me that you and Danny are both you're
Smart,
both terrorists.
and you guys are dummies.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got to the bottom of it.
So how about this? This is what the wife was wanting at work, and a bowl of Fruit Loops, warm milk. So what does he do? He picked her up and had a plastic bowl filled with the cereal and warm milk. And here's the moment where he shows up with what she needs because she's pregnant.
I'm about to go pick my baby up, and she says she is craving Fruit Loops. I cannot forget to warm up the milk because that's just the way how she likes it.
Hi, baby daddy. Ah, no! That's for me. But that's for you.
Yeah, that's for you.
You got me recording. Oh my god. 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 Kiss. Wait till I tell Avondale. The milk is warm.
I warmed it up on purpose.
Oh my god. Oh, I love you.
Wow.
I will say that, man, if that's the response you get for something as simple as that, here you go. Here's your warm milk and Fruit Loops every time.
I was about to say that, man. This guy hit the lottery. I mean,
Yeah.
the little things like that get her so fired up. That's pretty amazing.
Sounds like she won the lottery.
Right.
If you just play that audio, you'd be like, what happened in this woman's life? You'd never guess it's a warm bowl of Fruit Loops.
I could come home and be like, babe, I just won $5,000. Like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
It's like, Tatum needs to go to the bathroom. So we'll talk about that later.
I think a lot of us in relationships where our significant other doesn't respond well to the cool stuff we do, let's just play this video for them.
I kind of want to get that fired up about every little thing. I come home tonight and I'll be like, oh, babe, you made me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Start freaking out and she'll be like, what the hell is wrong with this guy?
Honestly, I was thinking that that's like the same audio that you get from Steve and I when you take us to Trappers. Especially like if it was like a surprise, we just show up to a sushi place.
All you can eat? I tell everyone I love him.
Yeah, exactly.
I usually tell the sushi chef by the end of our meal that I love him. Goodbye, I love you.
It's kind of how I am when like my friends go, guess where I went today? And then they just take out the big bag of no-name cakes. I'm like, whoa!
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We all have that little bit that's going to make us
I don't know
so
if I've ever been to this level. I mean, that is an amazing level. But then again, that just goes to show you pregnancy does do stuff to you. I mean, no doubt about it, man.
My favorite part of that whole thing, though, is like she's like, I can't wait to go into the office. And I got to wonder, like, imagine working with her and she comes in like, look what my husband did. And you're thinking, oh, he bought you like a new purse or some new shoes or something like that. And she's like, he got me cereal with warm milk.
I'm so happy I don't work in that office.
Would you call human resources on her?
The human resources would be called on me when I would say, you know what, you both are dumb people.
Why? They're just sweet people. Like, he went out of his way to do that for her. That's really nice.
Yeah, I feel like that's above and beyond the call of what you should be doing in life. And her response to me, I'd be like, wow, what is
I remember my
going
wife had like certain cravings for certain things, like a certain type of lemonade that she wanted for a second. I could only get at Target, so I had to run over to Target and grab it. But like, it was never anything super insane. She was obsessed with the French fries at Chick-fil-A.
Oh, well, that just meant you got to go to Chick-fil-A.
Right.
Win-win.
Right. I was like, all right, babe, no problem. I'll get in the car and I'll go get you those waffle fries.
Look, the only reason I'm criticizing these two, Vicky, is not because he got her what she wanted. It is the warm dang milk. I'm sorry, but this is where I would draw the line and go, you know what? You're going to have to move out of the house.
I was going to say they're living their best life because they have a crap ton of followers on TikTok, and they basically just do a lot of videos of all her pregnancy foods.
No.
So they get to eat so much delicious food.
So then, I see now. These guys. It's hard to know. Are they TikTok stars, or are they just lucky that that people care about this?
I think that was what happened. It's like they started doing these and then became famous for it.
So they started chronicling her pregnancy cravings, and people. I mean, anyone who's had a kid can probably relate to that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's always at least one weird food thing that someone's into.
right,
Although I don't think warm milk is weird at all.
I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to be that guy right now.
Okay.
I think that her response then is totally TikTok response and not a real response.
Probably not wrong.
There we go. Hey, you know what? Steve's back with me. At least, you know how I get Steve on my side? I go a little professional because I know Steve's a professional.
I am. There's nothing more. When you look at me, what do you think? Pro.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
We all know cats are intelligent. Felix Cat Insurance was able to secretly record 2 cats on a hidden microphone. Let's listen in.
Did you hear the one about the 3 dogs at the park?
That's old, like 4 lives ago. But did you hear about the new pet insurance just for cats from FelixCatInsurance.com?
Of course. What do I look like, a dog?
When you're coughing up a fur ball. Yes. Listen, Felix Cat Insurance plans start at under $1 per day and are as unique as you and me. They call it whisker to tail protection.
Even fur balls?
Even that. Remember the last time you had a fur ball? I made a TikTok. It went viral.
Oh, well, that's good. Wait, you're on social media?
There you have it. Felix Cat Insurance. Customizable coverage exclusively for felines. Sorry, no dogs allowed. FelixCatInsurance.com. Get it? Meow. Insurance is underwritten by Independence American Insurance Company and produced by Independence Pet Group. Pre-existing conditions are not covered. For all terms and limitations, visit FelixCatInsurance.com/terms.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. I love hearing stories like this because, for whatever reason, people who are in charge of everything, like the people that bring the money in the case of like movie studios, they think they know everything. And director James Cameron was talking about how the studio executives said, no, Arnold Schwarzenegger is not our first pick. That was not the guy they wanted to play Terminator. They had their eye on somebody else who they thought would be better. Now,
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito was the guy, and
awesome.
I mean, it would be fun. But how about they wanted O.J. Simpson. The studio executive said, hey, James, how about we put O.J. Simpson as the Terminator?
Very early on, a highly placed person at one of the 2 studios that funded that film had a brilliant idea, called me up and said, are you sitting down? I said, well, no, I'm not. He said, are you sitting down? O.J. Simpson for the Terminator. I said, I actually think that's a bad idea. I actually didn't go anywhere. But I think it's historically interesting.
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine if that did? Because there was a time where OJ, I mean, before all the craziness that happened with the guy, he was doing a lot of Hollywood. He was doing a lot of movies. So I can understand why he was like a popular guy to maybe go with. But then you could never look back on that film franchise the same way again.
No, yeah. And I just love the fact that, there are casting directors. There are people that's their job is to put people in movies that they think would be great, and they'll work with directors. A studio executive, you don't know anything but how to make money. I mean, really. I mean, that's what you know how to do. You know how to get people to put money in your projects. But, what do you know about making movies as far as casting and like that? And I'm happy that James said, no, that's not a good idea. I don't know if he had his mind on Schwarzenegger at all in the first place, if he thought that was a better choice. Mm-hmm. OJ was, look, in spite of all the history, OJ was okay as an actor, but something about Arnold, man, it was a magic you just didn't know you wanted.
That's very true. But yeah, you can't say acting chops wise, OJ and Arnold may be on the same level, but look wise, obviously Arnold had a certain look to him. But I mean, I can't even think of anyone else that would make sense to be maybe John Travolta. When he had the long hair, like in Staying Alive.
Oh, yeah,
I was going to say Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, yeah, that would piss off Arnold.
Oh, yeah. But this is kind of finally proved, in a sense, the internet rumor that's been going around forever, that the reason why they didn't pick him was because he wouldn't have been convincing as a killer.
That's hilarious.
So that's been floating around the internet forever. Yeah, they didn't
that's
think
hysterical.
I mean, not funny reasons,
yes.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
He didn't flat out say that in this little interview here, but I'm not surprised.
Well, because OJ was doing really some hokey movies.
Naked Gun.
He was a comedy actor. Whereas Arnold at the time, before that, he was Conan the Barbarian and the Pumping Iron movie, which was more like a documentary. So, I mean, he hadn't yet crossed over to do silly films.
Yeah, I have never heard of Arnold Schwarzenegger before that, and obviously we would have heard of O.J. Simpson. I get why executives want big names for flash, but my gosh, it is such a short-term, it really just is a short-term way of thinking. I mean, that's, I think, got to be a problem when you're doing anything that's artistic and creative and you think you've got something special, is that, let's get a flashy name. It's like, but I think of the Star Wars movies, and I think the Flash name, I guess, was, Alec Guinness, because he was an established actor, but, he was an old guy.
Yeah.
But God, who knows who they wanted in those iconic roles, that I can't imagine anybody else being, Han, Luke, or Leia. I love that. O.J. Simpson is the Terminator. Oh, man.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, wow.
We wouldn't have any I'll be backs or any of that kind of thing. Man, we've had any of that? All those stupid catchphrases?
Well, I mean, wouldn't OJ be saying them?
Yeah, it would just be said differently.
It wouldn't be as funny.
Yeah.
I don't know if did he come up, see, I don't know if I'm making this up in my head. I thought he came up with those himself, but I could be wrong.
I don't think so. But you know what, I'm just, I mean, he was a relatively unknown actor that he's like, you know what, I've got an idea for what these lines should be. I feel like they had everything already mapped out for him.
Yeah, I just know with his accent, sometimes maybe he was like, you know what, I can say it better like this, or if I say less words, I'll be back.
Your call.
Apparently it was written originally as I'll come back, but then he said the simple line, I'll be back. So technically
he did it. Yeah.
He did do it.
He did,
He just changed it just a bit.
Yeah, I'll come back is not as cool as I'll be back.
Imagine working behind the scenes and be like, this guy's got 3 words to say and he screwed it up.
Yeah. What if there was? Yeah, it's like you really are. Oh, whatever.
It's like good enough. Film's not cheap.
We're done.
You can't just digitally erase it. Like you wasted the film on that scene.
Variety, for some reason, said, "Hey, speaking of movies, let's talk to Steven Spielberg and ask him his favorite Seth Rogen stoner movie." Which
because they were on a red carpet together.
Oh, that's why.
So,
okay.
It wasn't it's already random enough as it is, but they're next to each other, and so I think the person thought it'd be funny to be like, "Hey, Seth Rogen's right here. What's your favorite Seth Rogen stoner film?"
God, I hate stuff like that, because what if Steven hasn't seen any of his? He knows he's good, seen a few clips here and there, and goes, "Yeah, this is the kind of guy I want in there." But what if he doesn't have any idea of his movies?
He's like, "I hate all of his movies. I never watched a single one of them."
Well, at that point, lean into it and troll him.
Yeah, right. What guy are you talking about? In what movies?
Yeah.
So I will say that out of this, though, what was a pretty big revelation, as he did share what his favorite Seth Rogen stoner movie was.
Having never been stoned, I don't see them as stoner movies.
Exactly.
I see them as movies about a police officer giving solid sound advice to a young, impressionable person.
One day.
Oh my gosh, I love Seth Rogen's laugh.
It's almost like someone's doing an impression of Seth Rogen.
I
It's like,
know.
is that Justin Ruppel or is that really Seth Rogen?
And is Seth trying to hint that he's going to get Steven Spielberg stoned?
Dude, how about Steven Spielberg? I'm sorry, he pretty much was around for that, like the dawning of the Stone Age, if you will. And basically he was in the 60s when that was all going on. He's never been stoned.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not that surprised, though. I never got the vibe that Steven Spielberg was a stoner. Although E.T. is kind of that seems like it came from the mind of a stone person.
I wouldn't
never
say,
mind.
Yeah.
Weird alien that likes snacks.
Yeah, I think maybe Reese's Pieces. Come on, I mean, the idea that he's never been stoned. Sure, maybe not a stoner, but that he never ever.
Yeah, you're right.
That's nuts.
So that got me thinking though. Like, what's the best Seth Rogen? I mean, I agree with him. Superbad's one of my favorite movies. I don't know though if that's my favorite Seth Rogen movie. Like, I know he's in it, but like I don't view him as like that. To me, it's Jonah Hill and McLovin and the other guy.
Yeah,
that's Sarah. And Seth Rogen's awesome.
One.
Yeah.
I feel like, because that may have been for some people their introduction to Bill Hader. I mean, there were so many great, like, I don't want to call them cameos, but they weren't the stars. But boy, when they were on screen, they were amazing.
Ooh, my number one Seth Rogen, all of his movies are stoner movies, I feel like. My number one Seth Rogen one would be The Pineapple Express.
I still haven't seen that movie.
You need to watch that today.
Yeah,
Go home right now.
All right, see ya.
Yep.
Now, what about Knocked Up? I think that's a good one for him. Again, because it surprised me. When you know somebody, it's tough for me because you go, I know this role. It didn't, when you first see an actor be amazing, like when we first saw Will Ferrell be Will Ferrell, it's so, that's a great moment when you go, this guy's the greatest. First time we ever saw Jim Carrey, like, be typical Jim Carrey. So for me, Knocked Up is when I was like, oh, this is Seth Rogen, man. This is awesome.
I mean, Knocked Up, 4-Year-Old Virgin. I feel like those were like...
That's good.
Those are good ones as well.
Well, he was like... I feel like that was the very first time I ever saw him was in 40-Year-Old Virgin. So when I saw Knocked Up, I'm like, oh, same guy. And I'm with BJ. I think that's probably number one, if not number two, on my list of Seth Rogen movies.
What about This Is the End?
Oh, that was a good one, too.
It's a good one. But again, not my favorite Seth Rogen movie, but it's a good movie.
Neighbors.
Oh, Neighbors was
great.
great.
I forgot
Neighbors
about
was
that.
awesome.
I did love Neighbors.
Yeah. And he was a little different in that. Wasn't he more the straight-laced guy in that one?
Well,
he was a dad, new parents.
Yeah.
He's a dad, but then he still goes and parties with
Yeah.
his wife
all
and
right.
Zac Efron and gets very wasted.
What was the Christmas one? The Night Before.
The Night Before.
That was pretty awesome.
Oh, I don't even think I've seen that one.
I
you
think
don't?
No.
Oh, it's a super fun one. You should watch
wait,
it.
maybe I have. Was that where they all had their weird Christmas sweaters?
Yep. Yes.
Oh, I did see that one. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a
it had,
fun
like,
movie.
Anthony Mackie in it.
Yeah, that's
Joseph
right.
Gordon-Levitt. Yep.
I forgot about Anthony Mackie. That was like the first time I'd ever seen Anthony Mackie and didn't realize he was the same dude that was in all the Marvel movies. That was a good movie.
Texter said, Zach and Miri make a porno.
I like that movie. I don't know if that's the best Seth Rogen movie, but that's a fun movie. I actually like Elizabeth Banks. Is that who it is? Yeah, I like her in that movie. I like her a lot, actually. I think she's really talented.
You know which is a really weird movie, but I watched it on the plane one time, and it's all Seth Rogen. It's called An American Pickle.
I've heard about that.
I don't know that movie.
It's actually not bad. I like it was one of the free movies that I had on one of my flights one time, and I was like, oh, I'll watch it. And it's like about this like Seth Rogen. He like back in the day gets dropped in a pickle brine and gets preserved, and then comes back and meets his great grandson in New York.
Oh, whoa! Look at this. And is he playing it straight, or is he Seth Rogen?
Yeah, a little bit of both.
Oh, look at him, and he looks like he's an Amish guy with that beard.
That's the guy that gets pickled.
Oh, wow. Oh,
He's
wow.
been in some weird movies, man, when you really think about it. Like, some of them have been a little bit out there. What about Sausage Party?
I was going to say Sausage Party.
Yeah.
72% on Rotten Tomatoes, but 44% audience. But I enjoyed it. Like, I thought it was like, it's like, don't go into it expecting like the best movie ever, but it's a pretty good one.
That should have been the slogan. Don't go into this thinking this is the best movie ever.
Right.
Let me ask you this, Danny, because sometimes people go into a movie expecting a Seth Rogen movie, and they don't get that. Like there's a Will Ferrell movie, the Unhappiness or whatever it was, you see Will Ferrell's name on there and you go, wait a minute, he's playing it completely straight. This isn't Will. Would you say that a typical Seth Rogen fan would be disappointed in the Pickle movie?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, no. All right. Well, I don't know why the critics and the audience were so far off then.
You guys remember Observe and Report? That was a fun one when he's like a mall cop or whatever it was.
Forgot about that, yeah.
I think we forgot about that because we were too focused on Paul Blart.
Yeah. And Paul Blart was better. Yeah. Hot take, but it was.
Fair.
Hot take.
Never thought we would be having really a comparison to those movies. But you know what?
If you're making a Mount Rushmore of mall cop movies, I feel like both of them would be on it.
Is there
Twice.
any other ones?
Can I just say that nobody would make a Mount Rushmore of mall cop movies?
Fair.
I mean, nobody would do that.
Today's podcast is brought to you by bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne, who's ready to answer your questions about bankruptcy. Travis, is it true that if you filed for bankruptcy once, you can't file again?
Even if you filed bankruptcy before, you can almost certainly file bankruptcy again. Different types of bankruptcies have different time limits between filings. In Chapter 7, full bankruptcy, you can only file Chapter 7 once every 8 years. However, you can almost always file a Chapter 13 case. Chapter 13 cases can be filed immediately following a Chapter 7. They can be filed immediately following a prior Chapter 13 case. Chapter 13 is a reorganization plan, so there will be some type of monthly payment, but it's based on your budget and your ability to afford that payment. So Chapter 13 is an option in almost all cases, even with a prior bankruptcy filing.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
This holiday season, make your journey memorable with Travel Centers of America. Visit our one-stop shop for all your holiday travel needs. Fuel up, get snacks, and dine at one of our full-service restaurants. Hit the road with peace of mind knowing we've got you covered. Travel Centers of America.
Getting older means a world of change, but some things still stay the same, like being at risk for type 1 diabetes, because type 1 can happen at any age. So screen it like you mean it. If just one person in your family has type 1, you're up to 15 times more likely to get it too. And 50% of type 1 diagnoses happen after the age of 18. So screen it like you mean it. Type 1 diabetes starts long before you need insulin, and one blood test could help you spot it early and lower the risk of serious complications like diabetic ketoacidosis, known as DKA. So don't get caught by surprise. Screen it like you mean it, because getting answers now can help you get prepared. The more you know, the more you can do. So don't wait. Talk to a doctor about how to get screened. Tap now or visit screenfortype1.com to learn more. Again, that's screenfortype1.com, and screen it like you mean it.
From town councils to Capitol Hill, agents who are realtors are advocating for what's right. We're working to increase affordable housing supply and ensure fair housing for all. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Transit is better with an Orca card. Here's why. 1, it's easy. Just tap and pay your way onto Metro and all other public transit around the Sound. 2, your tap shows us when and where you're riding the most, so Metro can serve you better. And 3, Orca cards are for everyone. 18 and younger now ride free with a free youth Orca card. So what are you waiting for? Get an Orca card, tap for transit, and make your ride count today. Visit kingcounty.gov/tap for transit.
Have you been in an accident that wasn't your fault? Feeling overwhelmed and unsure what to do next? Look no further. The personal injury attorneys at Phillips Law Firm are here to help. Phillips Law Firm understands that accidents can turn your life upside down. That's why they're dedicated to fighting for the compensation you deserve and to making the process as stress-free as possible. Don't wait any longer. Call now, 1-800-JUSTICE, or visit justiceforyou.com.
Looking to give the gift of pleasure? Add a little high heat to keep the desire burning. Or maybe you just need a little self-care. Come to Lovers for the best lingerie and toys to keep things hot this holiday. Save 20% on your purchase with Lovers Afterglow Rewards. Just mention Love20 at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow Rewards membership until November 30th. Some exclusions apply.
Your wages are being garnished. We can stop that now. It's hard enough to pay your bills when things are good, let alone when a big chunk of your take-home pay is gone before you even get your check. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne, and I can stop the garnishment and get the creditors off your back immediately, often the same day as our consultation. Both Chapter 7 and 13 provide bankruptcy relief, but choosing the right chapter is crucial. In a free consultation, we can create a plan to get your finances back under your control. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
Let's play Beat Migs.
It's time to play the game. So everybody scream his name. Beat Migs. Don't be a loser. Whoa. Beat Migs. You're a loser.
Who's ready to beat Migs?
Let's go.
Yeah, Steve, you look pretty ready.
I'm ready to rock. Let's do it.
Wow, I sure hope our contestant is. All right, today we have Charles from Spanaway. Charles, are you there?
Hi, Sarah. How you doing?
I'm so good. How are you, Charles?
I'm good. Hey, Steve, it's retribution time.
Oh,
First time we tied, you beat my butt last time. This time it's my turn.
Oh, let's do it. Okay, Steve,
This
get out.
Poor choice of term and words around Sarah, but it's the rubber match.
Oh.
I see what you
I don't know what rubbers are.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you just get out, Steve?
Yeah, please. For those playing at home, Charles has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Yes, Sarah, let's do this.
Who directed and starred in the comedy Tropic Thunder?
Robert Downey Jr.?
No.
Pass.
Which Olympian has the most medals in history with 28 to their name?
That would be Bruce Jenner.
No.
Pass.
What is the oldest musical instrument?
Drum?
No.
Pass.
Which Korean sport translates to the way of the foot and the fist?
Jiu-jitsu?
No.
Judo?
No.
Pass.
Who interrupted Taylor Swift's acceptance speech in 2009?
Kanye West?
Yes. What do bees consume to make honey?
Nectar?
Yes. Which company is the largest chocolate manufacturer in the United States?
Hershey's?
Yes. Which song was the first music video aired on MTV?
Video Killed the Radio Star by the Buggles?
Yes. What is the chemical name for table salt?
Sodium chloride?
Yes.
Sarah? I don't think he answered that question, the MTV. What was the answer to that MTV question?
Video Killed the Radio Star by the Buggles.
Okay, I heard your accent is what killed me. You got it.
Yeah, Charles got
I thought he
that
said
one.
the radio store, and I'm just like,
Yes, the radio.
That's I know.
No.
That's why I had to hear it again because I was like,
And he even got the
Southern.
And BJ's old, so you know. At
yeah,
that
he
point,
can't hear very well.
I heard it. You didn't hear a little bit of an accent on that
Not
one?
at all.
Not at all. And he got the artist right too, so really he should get an extra point for
All
that.
right, fair enough.
boom.
There, how many did you get right?
He
Sarah?
got 5. Charles, you got 5
All right,
correct.
Half and half there.
I'm not gonna lie, I was very nervous in the beginning for you.
Yeah, so was I.
Yeah, I was like, ooh,
Oh, look who's coming in wearing his retro jersey.
you're looking so good.
Look at the big stack.
Steve, are you ready?
Release the Kraken.
Who directed and starred in the comedy Tropic Thunder?
Seth Rogen.
No.
Robert Downey Jr.
No.
Wow. Shush. Jack Black.
No.
Oh.
Which Olympian has the most medals in history with 28 to their name?
What's that guy? The swimmer. Crap.
Oh, dang it. Oh, Jack Black.
Shut up. Michael Johnson.
No.
Michael Long.
No.
Michael Phelps. How about
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
What is the oldest musical instrument?
the piano?
No.
The clarinet?
No.
The guitar?
No.
Oh.
Which Korean sport translates to the way of the foot and the fist?
Jiu-jitsu?
No.
Taekwondo?
Yes. Who
Nice
interrupted Taylor Swift's acceptance speech in 2009?
Kanye.
Yes.
You're gonna let her finish, though.
What do bees consume to make honey?
Pollen?
No.
Weed?
No.
That's it.
Hookers?
Whoa.
Which company is the largest chocolate manufacturer in the United States?
Nestle?
No, my goodness gracious, Steve, you got
Hershey's.
There we go.
That's it.
Too late. 3 correct.
Wow.
That's 5-3.
I blame your father.
I do too.
He did not shut up. It was
Charles,
distracting.
hey, I'm the Yanni Gord of this game. What do you want me to say?
It was extra today. And you're usually annoying during the game, but it was just like extra annoying.
I've had a cup of coffee, so that could be.
But
you know what, dude? It's part of the game, baby.
I'm trying to talk while someone just keeps going, wow. Wow.
Hey, man.
Wow.
You got to filter out the noise, buddy.
I feel like even without the distraction, though, I think you still would have lost.
Wow. Wow.
Charles, congratulations, sir.
Did you do that to Charles?
Here is my good luck charm.
That's
Woohoo!
right.
More like BJ's your good luck charm.
I'll take it. And you know what? I'll take that, and I will take this, as a matter of fact, too. Hold on, kids. I mean...
I'm a loser, and I love someone who's near to me. I'm a loser, and I'm not what I appear to be.
Oh, man. Does anyone know who directed and starred in the comedy
Yes,
Tropic
this was
Thunder?
a big controversy that was actually addressed recently by Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
Because people, you know, if you remember, Robert Downey Jr. was in blackface, but he was actually playing an idiot in blackface, trying to. And he
It
was
wasn't like stereotypical blackface. He was like colored his skin so it would look like a black man.
Oh.
And people gave Robert Downey Jr., Ben Stiller a hard time. And Ben Stiller just said, look, man, I stand behind what we did. And if you watch the movie and the context of it all, we were not being disrespectful to anybody. It was, you know, and I really had a lot of respect for Ben Stiller because a lot of times you just don't want to get canceled and you acquiesce and apologize even if you really don't believe you did anything wrong. And he said, listen, I don't think I did anything wrong. You know, there are a lot of people that should apologize. I don't think that's me.
No, like you said, the context of it is what is why you're like, okay, I get what they're doing there. And it was like every year I feel like someone rediscovers the movie and is offended by it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's 2009. It was like 14 years ago.
Yeah, I'm going to say, you know, and if you're a person that really wants folks to be fair and really see your side of an argument, especially if you feel like you're a marginalized person, you have got to be reasonable because the people on the other side, if you're not reasonable, then they will just not want to be on your side for anything. You've got to be reasonable when we've got divisive things coming up. And I agree with him. He didn't. You got to watch the movie and realize this was not like some disrespectful crap that you would see way back in the day.
Right. So you eventually got Michael Phelps for the Olympian.
That was tough.
I thought that was going to be a gimme. I think you always think of Michael Phelps with Olympic.
I was trying to get my brain to work while there was a loud wow going on in the background.
Wow.
One person said, did Owen Wilson make an appearance?
That's a good point.
Does anyone know the oldest musical instrument?
I would say drums.
No, that was said.
Piano.
I said
that was said as well.
No. Wow.
See,
the
Danny?
flute.
The flute.
Of course.
Probably so easy to make.
Yeah, man, they made the flute before banging on stuff. I would like to go back in time and check that out. I feel like people banged on rocks and stuff before the flute
Those
ever came
aren't
around.
drums.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. Percussion, I would say. How about percussion?
When's the last time someone said, hey, I need some percussion on this song I'm writing? Okay, what kind of percussion? Tambourine, triangle? What are we talking? Rocks.
Yeah. Well, when did they start banging? Oh, they banged a long time in the caveman days.
It's the age of time.
You
they
forget
started banging.
you forget you're talking to an expert. I was
That's
around.
Right. You were there.
All right, so I'm just saying it's
And
wrong.
two, Charles got to that I think you actually would have got. Which song was the first music video aired on MTV?
That would be the Buggles' Video Killed the Radio Star.
Wow, yes. And you both got the artist. I was very impressed.
Mm-hmm.
And what is the chemical name for table salt?
F-U.
Chemical name.
I know it now. I just want to see you do this. Okay. How long are you going to go?
What's the second word?
What?
What's the second one then?
Sodium monoxide.
Okay. You know what?
Nitrate?
No.
It's chloride?
There we go. Okay, third
Well, I
try.
know it now. You know what, sir?
Wow.
You are a fraud and a liar person.
Well, I thought I knew it because I thought the answer was just sodium.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Good try.
Wow.
Well, congratulations,
And by the way,
Charles.
Sarah, you guys should all know who did the 80s thing. Last Live Day, who did I dress as? I dressed as the Buggles dude.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you not remember
How
that?
am I the only one that remembers that?
Unbelievable.
And Charles apparently as
How
well.
could I remember that great costume?
It was the Buggles dude.
I think anyone under the age of 40 were like, what is this?
Yeah, I
know
thought
what?
you were just a chef.
I know.
I did
Thank
too.
you, all of you a-holes, as I really put a lot of work into
I
that.
even knew the song. I had no idea who you were dressed
Well,
as.
you forget the video. The video, he looks
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like he looks like a space age chef. That's what he looks like. What do you want me to tell you? Okay, fine.
It was a deep cut.
Yeah, it was a deep cut, but it was the first video on MTV, and you saw the guy, space age chef guy. All right, you know what? I can't talk to you people. You just don't respect culture.
You say that, but you're still going to talk to us.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, I have to talk to the audience.
How much we disrespect culture, you still talk to us.
I could just talk to the audience. I could talk to like Jimmy out there listening.
All right.
Hey, Jimmy, how you doing?
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Ever notice how feline family members take a back seat to dogs by most pet insurance companies? Yeah, that chafes me. Cats have feelings too, and it's just wrong. But hold your horses. I got some good news here. FelixCatInsurance.com is doing something about it. And they call it whisker-to-tail protection. Because, look, our cats don't actually have 9 lives, and accidents and things can happen anytime. Felix Cat Insurance has plan options for cats of all ages, and it covers accidents, illnesses, emergency care, and more. Best part? Plans start at under $1 per day. Customizable coverage exclusively for felines. FelixCatInsurance.com. No dogs allowed. Well, hold up. This ain't over yet. Roll that legal stuff.
Insurance is underwritten by Independence American Insurance Company and produced by Independence Pet Group. Pre-existing conditions are not covered. For all terms and limitations, visit FelixCatInsurance.com/terms.
Is your relationship going sideways?
Have a family issue? Problems with your coworker?
Do you need advice? We're here to help. No problem is too dumb. No dilemma is too silly. This is Help Wanted with BJ and Migs.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. All right, what's Help Wanted? For years, we've been getting phone calls, texts, and messages from Rockaholics wanting our advice on whatever problems they are having. So if you've got a relationship issue, a problem at work, or anything else, it does not matter how dumb you think it is. We are here for you. Call us or text us now, 206-803-ROCK. It is Help Wanted.
I think we should bring your daughter in for this one because
All right,
it involves
Sarah.
the service industry.
What kind of service are we talking about? My daughter
waiters,
is always
waitresses, restaurants. What kind of service industry?
I don't know.
I'm
That's what I was trying to say. She's above board, this kid. Let's not cast aspersions.
I wasn't, but isn't that what it's called? The service industry?
It is actually called that.
Yeah, it's not. I'm into like the sex worker industry.
Well, you're right. We're trying to change that though in the sex worker industry. As you know, I'm in the business.
Oh,
yeah.
Are you the leader of the union?
Well, here's the thing. I've been working to get sex for pretty much my entire life, so I consider myself a sex worker. I've been very unsuccessful, by the way, but thank you. Whatever.
All right.
It'll happen for me someday.
Yeah, I mean, it happened at least twice, we think.
Well, we're getting DNA tests, so the kid's done. We're going to find that out in a hurry.
Are we still, Jewish now?
Well, I don't know what you are, but yes, I'm 50% Jewish. I think. By the way, my DNA test does not change your DNA, Steve.
Oh,
you're still what you always were. Yeah, you're always what you were.
That's like that old Mitch Hedberg joke where it's like, I got an STD test or whatever. He says, he asks any of his friends, do you have whatever? He goes, oh, okay, none of my friends have it, so therefore I don't have it either. I think
so you're saying that's the same thing with ethnicity.
Yes.
Now that I'm 50% Jewish, that has to at least give you 25%.
That's what I would have figured. But
That's how it works in DNA, yes.
My apologies for my ignorance.
No, listen, we get it. We know that about.
All right, let's talk about this one texture that came in this morning. It said, my fiance has been a bartender at this nice restaurant for a few years. I went in the other day to surprise her, and I noticed she wasn't wearing her engagement ring.
Oh.
I asked her about this the other day, and she said she noticed that she gets tipped better when she's not wearing it. I told her we don't need that extra money, but she insists it's not a big deal. I'm feeling weird about it, so I was wondering how you guys would feel if you were in my position.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I feel very weird because then I'm hanging out with your wife or fiance.
Yeah.
That seems like we have many issues with that.
Yeah. And also, don't forget, if I was in your position, she would be 25% Jewish by just being around me. So all of this, I mean, the ramifications of us being in your position would be really...
Yeah, that's really unfair to ask us that question.
Yes. Jealousy is a beating, man.
Yeah, it is.
Jealousy is a beating. It's something that happens to all of us humans. I would want to ask this texter, have you ever been cheated on in your life?
That's a good question.
Because I feel like folks that have had this happen to them are so, they're just so sensitive to any possibility of that. It's a sucky way to live. And I know because I've been that guy.
All I could think of, if someone said, okay, that's great that we don't need the extra money. But in my head, I'm like, well, I'm stuck doing this job. And if I could get more money, what's wrong with that? So I could spend it on more fun stuff. Like, I have expensive habits and traits that I like to buy things.
Oh,
like,
do you?
I have jerseys that I need to buy and goalie gear. And
yeah, that's a good point.
Like, yeah, sure, we don't need the money, but extra money is never a bad thing.
And I would ask this guy, are you independently wealthy? Are you ready to retire? Because that's a dumb thing to say. We don't need the extra money. If you're not ready to retire right now, then outside of Steve just going, I'm going to buy jerseys, you could also put the money away and save it for when you're 65 or older. So, yes, you do need the extra money. Don't be an idiot unless you're independently wealthy. And at that point, why is your wife working at all at that point? Why are you working at all?
I think it's more about he doesn't like the thought of possibly someone buying a drink from his fiancée thinking that she's single.
Yeah, and look, here's the bottom line. Sex sells, baby. And I'll ask Vicky,
That's
ask
why I don't
Sarah.
wear my wedding ring on the air.
Okay, man, boy, have you noticed? You're getting hit on a lot in this building.
Yeah, selling it, man.
It's very inappropriate.
Mostly from Danny.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like we're always in the urinal next to each other.
Oh, and dude, I
For a
tell you
reason.
something. Have you noticed you've been getting hit on more now that you're 25% more Jewish?
It's insane,
Yeah, I mean,
dude.
the women are all over you.
It's like an aphrodisiac. I go in the elevator, I gotta just
Oh, I know. I've been there, and I've just
I gotta fart to keep these ladies away.
Well, you know what? And let me tell you, it works.
What the hell's happening?
Yeah, it works.
There's a lot. There's a lot of tips and tricks in the trade to get more tips. Like, they have done a lot of TikTok videos where women would go in wearing pigtails to their waitressing gig, and they made a crap ton more money. Because it's all about, selling this image. And side note, why would you want to wear any kind of expensive piece of jewelry when you're putting your hand in like Sandy buckets and bleach and lime juice where it could get corroded and stuff? Like, I would not wear my engagement ring at a waitressing job where it could get ruined.
That's a very good point.
So.
Interesting, because I mean, now I'm married, and I personally love wearing mine because I love to show it off.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Look at my bling.
Exactly. And it's like, oh, I'm engaged. I'm taken. This is exciting. Or I'm married. You know what I mean? But it's fascinating that you guys just would immediately think this guy's crazy, because I'm like, okay, well, if it's causing a rift in their relationship, then it obviously is kind of worth a discussion, because I'm trying to think if J-Rubs would have a problem if I was waitressing now, if I didn't wear my ring. And he's such a cool guy. I don't think he would. But if roles were reversed and he was bartending,
You would have a problem.
and he didn't wear his wedding ring,
Oh, I was not expecting this.
I would feel some type of way about it.
What if you knew, if the strategy was he could get more in tips, like double his tips, if he just didn't wear his ring? It's not like he's cheating, and even if he's being slightly flirtatious, but you know that it's all to get tips, you still wouldn't like that.
No.
Okay. I mean, that is fair. Everybody gets to have their deal breakers. I think it's dumb, but okay, it's fair.
Well, and I have been cheated on, so maybe that's where I'm feeling some type of way about it.
See, that's what it
Yeah,
is.
maybe my insecurities are coming to a front, but it's wild to me that you both think that the guy is in the wrong here and the girl shouldn't just wear it.
Oh yeah.
I just wouldn't care.
Oh yeah. But could he? So you said it deserves a discussion. What if he's like, look, this is what I'm doing. Like, it came to you beforehand and said, look, I'm not going to wear my wedding ring. Would you be more okay with it, or would you still have an issue with it?
I mean, I would be more okay with it because he explained it, but I immediately went to, okay, well then if I'm going out for the night with my girls, I'm not going to wear my wedding ring because guys can buy me free drinks up the ying if I'm not married.
Oh, see, this is why I am so happy.
So
That's the moment where I just take my head and slam it against the counter.
Poor
and go,
J-Rubs.
have a good night.
You know,
I'm going to concuss myself so I can forget this conversation.
I mean, unfortunately, I feel like some girls are kind of like me. They just don't want to admit it. They're just more secret about it.
You got a text that says, put the ring back on or let him return it, then you'll have the money. You're engaged. Act like it.
Woo!
I get you can have a line. Everybody gets to have a deal, but I would say to my daughter, since you are my daughter, that's a therapy session waiting to happen. If you know that a person loves you, and you also know that people will, it's just like, what about actors and actresses that they're sex symbols? You see them on the screen and you know that people are doing what they're doing maybe, or are you pissed off at that? Because I know some acting couples, was it Travis? Oh my God, Machine Gun Kelly. Didn't he get pissed off at somebody because of?
Like a sex scene with Megan Fox.
Yeah. He got pissed off. It's like and it's like, dude, she's an actor. You got to understand that.
Right.
But some people don't. It's like, well, what are you doing?
Well, okay, so then is it weird for me if I would go to the club, right, like I just said, and not wear my wedding ring? Not that I'm going to do anything at all.
Are you an actor? Are you getting tips?
I would get free drinks.
Well, I mean, it is hard to argue if you're getting free drinks. I mean,
drinks are expensive
saving
nowadays.
money. I mean, that's the
I don't
only
know. I
legitimate
feel like it's a
excuse that
little
you
bit
have.
of apples and oranges. I mean, it's like, I'm sure if you sat on a guy's lap and just kind of like, shake your butt on it, you get a lot of free drinks, but that doesn't mean you should.
Did this escalate?
I
mean, if you sit in the guy's lap, Steve, and do that, you could get a lot of tips at the club. I mean, too.
Yeah, it's fair. I just think it's a harm that he's behind a counter, or he's serving drinks, or he's
But I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just talking to them how I would talk to them the same if I was a bartender.
Boy, this texter, guess what? We have been no help at all.
We are divided.
This is a tough one.
Here's what I would say, though. I can't believe I'm agreeing with Vicky.
What did she say?
Yeah, sounds about right.
I don't know what to do here. Is it better just to move on and not illustrate just what happened? You let me know.
I'm still fixated with Sarah and hanging out and flirting with guys to get free drinks.
Yeah. All right. Well, you know what, Vicky? At least I heard what you
Yeah,
said.
thank you, BJ.
Yeah, no problem.
Wait, now I want to know because I don't know either. What did she say?
Oh,
what do you agree with her?
The two of you are horrible.
Danny, do you know what Vicky said?
No idea.
Oh my God! The two of you are horrible.
Yeah.
What?
I don't think he heard what you just said.
Oh,
I got a lot of things going on. I got texters.
I know. I mean,
I'm arguing with your daughter.
I know. I get it. Vicky is basically she's located.
We've all
right
been
next.
guilty of this.
Vicky,
We don't always listen.
Oh, I'm
no disrespect to Vicky. I honestly didn't know if she spoke yet.
You know what? You know what's so sad? I have friends who are like Vicky who are a little quieter than the average, because Sarah and I, of course, are big mouths. Vicky is definitely quieter, and I have friends that are quieter. And honest to God, I've been in your shoes, Steve, where they go, "I just said what you just agreed to, what that guy just said. I just said that 5 minutes ago," and I go, "You did?"
Yeah,
it's horrible.
Oh, we've all done it.
I don't listen to the quiet ones. I only listen to big mouths. I really do. So I really work hard to listen to the quiet people like Vicky. So I have now practiced to focus on when Vicky's talking, because normally I don't listen to her either. But I realize that's a bad thing for me to do.
Insert sad Hulk music here.
Yeah, sorry,
this
Vic,
is my life.
That's what happens when you're quiet. I would say, because I said this to my friend as well. I tell her, I go,
"Yell more, Vicky.
You got to yell more." But see, that's horrible. But I will tell you, that's a cultural thing. Even though, hey, by the way, texter, we can't help you.
Yeah, all right, she's probably having sex with somebody there.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
What?
At least wear the ring if you're having sex with someone else, okay?
Ring or no ring, if she's going to bang someone, she's going to bang them.
That's true.
I don't think the ring is going to stop her.
It won't stop me at the club either.
Oh my gosh, you're in the club.
Yeah,
I know.
It's so true.
Different, Sarah.
Harland.
I think it's important, though, for each partner to understand that there are people in their lives that have deal breakers, and then sometimes you might think they're completely unreasonable, but if you want to be with them, sometimes you're going to have to agree to somebody's unreasonable deal breaker. Both sides really have to sit down and go, is this a mountain I want to die on? And sometimes it is. Like with Sarah, right now you can tell this whole wedding ring, engagement ring thing, if J. Rubs doesn't wear it, she's not going to be happy.
Someone said Sarah doesn't seem to understand work versus leisure.
Yeah, again, it doesn't matter when your spouse is who they are.
Money is money. Free drinks are money.
I mean, yeah, and also Sarah's she's a very good arguer. You can't,
Like, here's the thing. If you're
Are you
going to
be able to pay? Oh, sorry.
I'm going to yell.
Vicky's
Okay.
yelling.
All right.
Vicky's
I'm
talking.
going to get
What is
up
that
in this.
noise? I can't hear. Something's making a noise. What is that?
All right. You're making money.
Give
Yeah,
it
you
to
got to
her.
go to work to make your money. You want to save money? Don't go to the club. Stay home, bitch.
Wow.
Whoa.
That way you don't have to take off your ring. You don't have to flirt with anybody. You can drink at home.
Well, Vicky
I just saved you money.
Vicky just got pissed at you, but she's really mad at Steve.
Yes, I am.
What did I do?
I was just speaking
What did you
loudly.
do?
I'm not
I
even
did nothing
mad.
wrong.
You don't even know what she just said.
Who?
What's my name?
Vicky, she called Sarah a bitch. I'm all in for this.
Okay, I mean, that was...
I heard that.
That really was the most important part of Vicky's statement.
Are you paying bills with the free drinks that you're getting?
No.
Oh, was that the argument? I was very confused. No, but I'm saving J-Rub's money by not spending his money at the club.
I'm saying don't go to the club.
Oh, my God.
He's going to work, which is what you have to do to be an adult, to pay your bills. You don't have to go to the club.
Danny's going to join.
Don't go to the club.
Danny's joining Joey.
Yeah, I'm out.
Joey D's and Danny are like, that's it. It's over. Wait, now we know why marriage is horrible. We're not going to do it.
Does Johnny Rivers have to wear a hat at work that just says married? Just in case if they don't see him with the ring on because, he's working with his hands.
Yeah. Oh, he sure does. Yeah, he
right.
can't wear his real ring because I guess that's dangerous. His finger could get torn off.
Oh,
but I got him
you should
those
be willing to get
rubber
electrocuted for it. Yeah.
She got him you're wearing something on that finger, B.
So even though he works with a bunch of guys, he still needs to wear it at work.
You never know.
Guys can find J-Rub sexy, and
they do,
and that's still cheating. I know, and some people don't think that same is cheating, but
or what if they ordered some food through DoorDash, but accidentally ordered it from HorDash, and next thing you know, some girls just wanted to have sex with him.
I can't tell you.
That could be a possibility.
It's a doable thing.
Now you know my latest argument. I don't care how hot you are. Where are my onion rings?
See, now we all are on board with wearing our wedding rings.
I'm done.
I have no idea. Well, I'm on board with onion rings. I'll tell you that.
Wedding rings, onion rings.
I'd wear an onion ring all the time.
See, now that to me is the ultimate, because then if you are in a compromising position, you could just eat your ring and be all filled up.
Somebody said, "Oh, she's definitely banging the cook." LOL, just kidding. I used to take my wedding ring off for better tips as well. My wife enjoyed the extra money.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, I think it just depends on the comfort level of the person. And what are you going to do? You married that person. You know their quirks. You know what they're about. And J-Rubs knows that Sarah's insane. I mean, he knew this. He knew this going in.
He did.
Yeah.
He had 6 years before he said I do. So
yeah, he did.
So I actually believe this woman. When I worked at a place where sales were needed, my manager got engaged. Her sales dropped, so she started not wearing her ring. Sales went right back up.
Wow.
I'm 100% into that. Sex sells, and that's just a fact of life that will never change in humanity, even though we try to, but really, sex does sell. And the idea that a woman seems to be available, who's really friendly with you, in the back of your brain, while I'm sitting there with my tuna melt, I know she does not give a damn about me at all. But boy, oh boy, when she makes me think that maybe, possibly, whatever, that the two of us could have a moment in life romantically, that's a wonderful thing. And when she's got a wedding ring on, it does change. My brain can't go to that fantasy even for 20 seconds with a tuna melt. So there you go.
And the tuna melt, is that a euphemism?
Why?
Well, you know what? Let's just say two things in life I like.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Travis, if you're upside down in your mortgage, should you continue to make the payment?
Continuing to pay your mortgage or not is a complex decision because you're going to have to pay to live somewhere. You're going to have a housing payment. So continuing to make your house payment really depends on several factors. One is whether or not you have a second mortgage. The second one is how affordable your ongoing monthly mortgage payment is. Another issue is whether your mortgage is adjustable and you're facing an increase in your mortgage payments later on when interest rates go up. If you do have a second mortgage in this economy with the housing prices being down, oftentimes we can take off or strip off that second mortgage in a Chapter 13 case so that you'd only have the first mortgage to continue to pay.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. And thanks for listening.
This holiday season, make your journey memorable with Travel Centers of America, where our motto is simple: return every traveler to the road better than they came. Avoid any hassle and stop at our one-stop shop for all your holiday travel needs. Fuel up, indulge in delicious snacks, and dine at one of our full-service restaurants. Hit the road with peace of mind knowing we've got you covered. For more info, go to ta-petro.com. Travel Centers of America, your road to happy travels.
From the very beginning, your kids mean everything to you. That means you do anything for them, especially if they're at risk. So when it comes to type 1 diabetes, screen it like you mean it. Because even if just one person in the family has it, your child is up to 15 times more likely to get it too. Screen it like you mean it. Because type 1 diabetes can develop at any age. And once you get results, you can get prepared for your child's future. So screen it like you mean it. Type 1 starts long before there are symptoms. But one blood test could help you spot it early, before they need insulin, and could lower the risk of serious complications like diabetic ketoacidosis or DKA. Talk to your doctor about how to screen for type 1 diabetes, because the more you know, the more you can do. So don't wait. Tap now or visit screenfortype1.com to learn more. Again, that's screenfortype1.com. Screen it like you mean it.
From town councils to Capitol Hill, agents who are realtors are advocating for what's right. We're working to increase affordable housing supply and ensure fair housing for all. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Transit is better with an Orca card. Here's why. 1. It's easy. Just tap and pay your way onto Metro and all other public transit around the Sound. 2. Your tap shows us when and where you're riding the most, so Metro can serve you better. And 3. Orca cards are for everyone. 18 and younger now ride free with a free youth Orca card. So what are you waiting for? Get an Orca card. Tap for transit and make your ride count today. Visit kingcounty.gov/tap for transit.
Are you dealing with a personal injury? Don't go it alone. Turn to the experienced team at Phillips Law Firm. Their attorneys have helped thousands of clients get the compensation they deserve. Call Phillips Law Firm now. Call 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com. Looking to give the gift of pleasure? Add a little high heat to keep the desire burning. Or maybe you just need a little self-care. Come to Lovers for the best lingerie and toys to keep things hot this holiday. Save 20% on your purchase with Lovers Afterglow Rewards. Just mention LOVE20 at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow Rewards membership until November 30th. Some exclusions apply.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard the tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. An 82-year-old Walmart employee out of Maryland was finally able to retire. I recently saw this old dude at a restaurant, man, and he was bussing stuff, and he looked like he was in his 80s. And I'm like, man, does he want to be doing this, or does he have to be doing this?
Yeah. Because if he wants to do it, I get that. Like, keeps your mind active. You're still around people. And sometimes you hear about people who stop doing something, and then they just kind of like wither away or something along those lines. Whereas if you're still moving, still being around younger people, it keeps you young.
It's hard to know because, I that's why, if a guy wants to, sure. This guy apparently, though, really wanted to retire but couldn't. And so this story went viral on TikTok. And how about people raised $100,000 for this guy using GoFundMe? And here's the dude that started the GoFundMe. His name is Rory. He's also, he's got a former Walmart employee, Butch, talking about the amazing feeling of Butch being able to finally retire.
It's got your name on it for $108,682.85. Love you, man.
I love you. I appreciate it. I don't say I really deserve it. I just like to talk to people and get along with people.
Just never dreamed that this would happen, and I'm just so excited for him.
Very happy, but feel like a new man.
That'd be funny if he just blew all that money like in the next few months, just going crazy. He's like, screw it, I'm old, and I have $100,000 is done. I mean, I don't know. I'm no financial guy, clearly. But at 82, is that going to be unless he had X amount of dollars and he just needed that much more to get him to the point where a retirement was possible?
Well, that's a good question. Like, how much is he living off of?
Because if he lives in Seattle, that's not going to help him.
Yeah. I mean, he's getting his Walmart salary, and whatever that is, it's probably not. Yeah. I would imagine the Walmart salary, if he's minimum wage, you got to whoever can do the math on that. Maybe it's between $20,000 and $30,000 a year. So that will keep him going for 3 or 4 more years without working at all. That 100.
Yeah, that's what I wonder. I mean, he had to have maybe had enough set aside that, like, you're good until like 90 something, but then add the 100 grand. He's like, okay, now I'm good. I'm out.
Yeah, I mean the life expectancy for people, they say, is 76 years old, and for dudes we go quicker than women usually. And yet, you know what? My financial guys go, I got you set up until you're 90. I go, wow, you have not been watching my diet, sir. If you think you're going that long.
What if he's like, yeah, you're good until 69, BJ?
Yeah, nice.
And then all of a sudden you turn like 75. You're like, well, now I'm broke because I didn't factor I was going to make it this far.
Well, dude, it's weird because I hit a milestone. I am as old as my mother was when she passed away, and that is a weird thing.
Yeah,
in my brain, it's like, oh, I didn't realize it. I was just, I was like, oh, we're having some conversation, and I was like, oh, I don't know. My mother was older than my dad, but I don't know how much older she was. So then I went and I looked and checked some records, and I'm like, holy crap, she was 62 years old when she passed away. I'm like, whoa.
Nothing makes you feel better about life than thinking about that, huh?
Well, I got to get to 63. Oh, again, she was 62.
Did you guys have a bet?
No, but
your mom.
Here's what it is with the passing of Dory Monson. You think about whenever somebody goes who's in your age group. Yeah. So that's when I started just thinking about these things, and then when I was looking at my mother, I'm like, oh wow, okay. So yeah, this is,
which is kind of funny, not funny, like. Odd, because I thought about that too with when you talk about like celebrity passings and when it hits you, it's like because of Jeremiah Green, the drummer from Modest Mouse, when we talked about that.
Yeah.
He was in his mid to late 40s, and it's cancer. Obviously, that's something that can hit you at any age, but when you get a little bit older and you start getting in your 40s and your 50s, you start thinking about that, and you see someone that's kind of like a peer level as far as age, you're like, oh man. You like to think you're doing everything you can, but that's something that just have no control over other than trying to get it detected, obviously.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep my brain young, because if focusing on stuff like that, and if that's all I focus on, next thing you know, I am that old person that's all I talk about.
On the opposite side too, like I think about like my mom and Pete Carroll are the same age, and it's like Pete is out there every week, and you see him
hoops.
It's like, and even just like the way the energy he has on the side, it's like my mom could not do that at all. Like even like when he was jumping because
she doesn't chew enough gum and wear those white
that's
Nikes.
the reason.
Exactly,
you need
true.
to buy her some white Nikes.
I should, and get her some gum.
Air Carols.
Yeah.
Get the Air Carols.
That's why it was so special when your mom said I look like I was her age. It's so special for me to hear that.
You really do. So
yeah, that's great. Thanks. Thanks for that. Hey, you guys know that Hugh Jackman kid, don't you?
Never heard of him.
Yeah. It really was one of our favorite interviews, because we asked him to sing a song that he sang at an award show, and he just did it in the morning without any warm up.
Of human excrement.
Yes. Yeah. You got to love a guy that's like, sure, whatever, let's have fun. Hugh just did an interview where he shared that he did not know what a Wolverine was when he actually took on that iconic role for the X-Men movies, which is right now, I think, over 20 years ago.
I had never read the comic book. I got the part. In Australia, we don't have Wolverines. I didn't know that was a real animal. I'd never heard of a Wolverine. I thought it was a made-up animal, And so I was doing rehearsal, and at the IMAX, they had this documentary about wolves, and I was like, perfect, because obviously I'm part wolf. So I went in with all these wolf moves, and I was doing these moves, and the director said, what are you doing? And I said, well, I was just thinking, how wolves are always looking like this because they're actually smelling. They've got their nose to the ground. That's why they're looking like this all the time. And he goes, what do you mean a wolf? And I said, well, Wolverine. I'm a part wolf, so I thought I didn't. And he goes, no, you're a Wolverine. I said, well, there's no Wolverines. And he goes, I think you need to go to the zoo.
Dude, I used to think a Wolverine was like a wolf thing too. That's kind of funny that when I remember the first time ever seeing what a Wolverine looked like, I'm like, that's what it is?
The only reason that I knew what a Wolverine was because of the Michigan football team. That's the Michigan State football team. That's the only reason I would know. I think it's Michigan State, right? Well, one of those Michigans.
That was just Michigan, the Michigan Wolverines.
And
I don't know because a certain wrestler used to wrestle, and he was like a college. That was like part of his gimmick.
Yeah, so that's the only reason I know is because of the college football team. That I'm like I knew it was that it was a thing, and not like otherwise I'd be like Hugh Jackman. I have no idea what it is.
See, even with the Michigan Wolverines, for the longest time, I just thought it was some kind of a nod to a wolf as well. So I mean, I
can't fault him.
I clearly, in one instance at least, I could say I share the same brain as Hugh Jackman.
Boy, that I think Hugh has decided to never call in our show again.
I was going to say that probably hurts him to his core.
Yeah, why would you? We want him to call back someday.
Yeah.
There's a thread that's going around online where people are talking about the cranky boomer opinions.
Oh, BJ. This is your poll.
That actually other generations agree with.
Ah, damn it.
There you go. Look, yes, we're getting cranky. But, every once in a while people go, yeah, you know what? I mean, Pops over there has a point.
It'll be fun to see which ones we agree with as well.
Agreed.
Yeah, and, look, we boomers did not have this as much as millennials and Gen Zs had, and that is basically sharing way too much on social media. And when I say sharing, not being on social media, but sharing way too much on social media. And you've heard me say this before. Who would go to a company bulletin board, which is where everyone can see what you're doing if you're working for a company, and post on all of the personal information that you post on your Facebook page? That's what people do.
I joke about it, but I mean, it's like, there's a reason why you have a journal or a diary, like, and most people don't open it and read it because it's supposed to be just for you. And like, sometimes I read people's posts and I'm just like, this is a diary entry that I didn't need to read. Like, we don't need to read every little thing that's going on in your world. And some people are just oversharers.
I think it's a lot of younger people will learn to overshare right when they first start social media. But then also I've noticed older people will when they first get on social media too. They're like, oh, this is interesting. Let me share every little piece of information or drama about my life. And
like every once in a while, I don't have no problem. But some people, it's like every day I feel like they're giving you like their 3,000 word journal entry, and I'm like, oh yeah.
And it's never anything fun.
So
if they're doing that. It's not a fun like, oh my god, this is a cool story. That's a bummer.
That's a boomer opinion you guys agree with. Thank you.
Yeah. I do agree with that one.
All right. This one is my big one. Oh my god, I love this one, and I'm so happy that other generations agree with this. Screw touchscreens. I want physical buttons, especially in the car.
Oh no,
that's my big one.
Touchscreens all the way.
I don't mind. I kind of miss the buttons in the car because sometimes you just want to hit that button, but you're not looking, and then you just then you realize you're just tapping like the vent. And you're like, wait a second, that's not.
That's never happened to me.
No,
oddly enough, like I love the touchscreen because it's so easy to just navigate real quick as opposed to buttons trying to figure out which button does what.
I'll tolerate the touchscreens, but do we need to have the mouse on the console? Like, like how like some of the new fancier cars like have like the little scroll wheel. That's
what do we need that for?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that.
I miss the old days where you just rolled up windows and you clicked a button to change a station. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, there's an advantage to basically being able to, with your fingers, ascertain what you're doing without having to use your other senses. That sense of touch, which is especially in the car. I know exactly where my radio button is, where my heater is, where all the things that I need to do to turn heat on, turn it off. I know how to do all that in my car. I can't do that on a touchscreen. I literally have to take my eyes off the road to look at the touchscreen. That's my only complaint, is that you don't have to with buttons. Danny, once you learn. I get it. Once you learn where they are, that's a little bit of a curve. But once you do it, then you don't have to take your eyes off the road to turn your heat on.
Although I will say, I wish I had a smarter car that had a touchscreen, because when the car is off and the little brother gets into my car and pushes all the buttons and moves everything around, I'm all screwed up now. But if it's a touchscreen, it turns off when the car is off. He can't mess with it.
Well, there's one solution. You just tie the kid up.
Yeah, I've tried. That kid is Houdini.
Just tighten up that seatbelt.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah,
double wrap him.
He's a Houdini.
Here's another opinion that baby boomers have that other generations agree with. See if you guys do. I hate going to concerts and seeing everyone with their phones up.
Yeah.
But then we're all guilty of it.
We are.
I just wish someone wouldn't spend the entire concert filming every single song. Like, get a couple pictures, grab a video. I get the memory and you want to put it on your socials and stuff, but you don't need to bootleg the entire concert.
Yeah, I make a conscious effort to, like, my favorite song, I'll record like the first minute and then phone goes back in the pocket and I leave it that way.
Or if you want to film the show, kind of keep it closer to your chest.
Yeah.
Like, everyone picks it up over their head and then next thing you know, you're staring at their video screen watching the concert through their cell phone.
Or stand at the back. Like, just stand at the back of the you know what I mean? It's annoying.
Or, just don't go and wait for someone else to give you the video of the show you want to watch.
That's what I often do. I'm like, man, I wish I would have filmed that or video recorded it. And then I realize I'm sure if I just go look on YouTube, it's going to be there. And sure as it's always there.
But then there's always somebody singing along to it, just kind of ruining it.
Oh, I like their song singing.
Their rendition? Yeah. Okay.
Much nicer.
Here's another opinion of boomers that other generations are agreeing with. I will never own an e-reader. Nothing compares to a real book.
Agreed.
You know what's funny about that is I literally see people using e-readers on the plane and it makes me so angry. I'm like, get a book out. Come on. You don't need that. Stupid Kindle.
Just don't read. Then you don't have to worry about this.
That works too.
See, you have the real solution.
Yeah. I see people with books like books. What's wrong with you? You're watching videos.
How about this one? I want to read articles online without entering an email, creating an account, and giving out my phone number.
Yep.
Right?
Dude, sometimes you're just like, I just want to get this thing. And then it's like, they put you through all these prompts and you're like, oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
What more do you want from me?
And then you're paying $4.99 a month for whatever newspaper that you don't want to read.
Yeah, exactly. Or dude, it was so dumb. I was like about to get like this pair of pants I saw in a Facebook targeted ad. And I'm like, oh, this is great. Like they're like joggers for like just lounging around the house. And I'm like doing it. I'm like, all right, let me buy it. And then I realized I almost clicked on it and didn't read the small print. And I was about to agree to a monthly subscription to this company.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh my gosh.
I know what company you're talking about because I've almost done the exact
same
thing.
This is too good of a deal, $19. It's supposed to be the most comfortable pants ever. I'm like, I'm going to drop $19 for the most comfortable pants ever.
Yep.
And then it's like, oh, by clicking on this, you agree to paying $59 a month or something along
there
those
you
lines
go.
for their subscription
The most comfortable payment ever.
Right.
Yep.
I like this one. This one just happened to me, and it wasn't me, but it was my wife that went into the boomer moment. Using apps for everything is annoying, like going to Disney World and not being able to do anything, including eat, unless you use the app.
Yeah, Disney World is all about the app now.
I don't like having to download a different app for everything, but once you actually get into it, the convenience of it, I actually do really like.
Yeah.
Well, we were in a restaurant, and my wife, and this is how they had us use our phone. Like, if you don't have a cell phone, it was like, what do you do? We went to a restaurant, and you know how normally you get like a big pole with a number on it when they bring your food out to you? And they go, here, take number 50, go get your food. They were like, go to your table and go scan the QR code on your table, and we'll bring the food to you. And it was like no problem for me because I have a phone. But I mean, Kathy was like, I don't always bring my phone. What will I do? What do you do for people like me? If if they go, we'll find you. But I was just like, it is interesting that they're just like, this is how we're doing it. We're just assuming you all have phones. But as it turns out, there are a lot of people outside of boomers that go, can we just not use our phones for everything? Can we keep them in our pocket and find a way for you to get me like my food the old fashioned way? Do I
need a phone to get into our building? Oh, turns out, yes, I do.
Yeah, exactly. Man. That's just so, I love that. You know what? Pretty much for most of these, you guys agreed. You non-boomers agreed with me, the boomer, that the complaint was legit. I love this. Thank you. I'm validated. It's a good day.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
We all know cats are intelligent. Felix Cat Insurance was able to secretly record 2 cats on a hidden microphone. Let's listen in.
Did you hear the one about the 3 dogs at the park?
That's old, like 4 lives ago. But did you hear about the new pet insurance just for cats from FelixCatInsurance.com?
Of course. What do I look like, a dog?
When you're coughing up a fur ball. Yes. Listen, Felix Cat Insurance plans start at under $1 per day and are as unique as you and me. They call it whisker to tail protection.
Even fur balls?
Even that. Remember the last time you had a fur ball? I made a TikTok. It went viral.
Oh, that's good. Wait, you're on social media?
There you have it. Felix Cat Insurance. Customizable coverage exclusively for felines. Sorry, no dogs allowed. FelixCatInsurance.com. Get it meow. Insurance is underwritten by Independence American Insurance Company and produced by Independence Pet Group. Pre-existing conditions are not covered. For all terms and limitations, visit FelixCatInsurance.com/terms.
This holiday season, make your journey memorable with Travel Centers of America. Visit our one-stop shop for all your holiday travel needs. Fuel up, get snacks, and dine at one of our full-service restaurants. Hit the road with peace of mind knowing we've got you covered. Travel Centers of America.
These days, every new potential hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. You want to be 100% certain that you have access to the best qualified candidates available. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs help find the right people for your team faster and for free. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/decide. That's linkedin.com/decide to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
Transit is better with an Orca card. Here's why. 1, it's easy. Just tap and pay your way onto Metro and all other public transit around the Sound. 2, your tap shows us when and where you're riding the most, so Metro can serve you better. And 3, Orca cards are for everyone. 18 and younger now ride free with a free youth Orca card. So what are you waiting for? Get an Orca card, tap for transit, and make your ride count today. Visit kingcounty.gov/tap for transit.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. You guys know Bryan Cranston, right?
Oh, yeah. Malcolm in the Middle, right? He's never done anything else.
No, he hasn't done anything else.
Walter White.
Not anything that I've seen.
No. I don't think you have seen that, have you, Danny? Really?
I haven't, no. I've never watched it.
Even though you're from Albuquerque, you had nothing to do with Breaking Bad.
Even though he's from Albuquerque, and Bryan Cranston used to be so generous with his time that he would swing by the old radio station that Danny worked at in New Mexico.
And
spend time with him.
Yeah, I've taken a picture with him. I just didn't really know what he was doing.
Wouldn't you watch that if somebody did that? Oh, I know your answer because you haven't. But right, BJ?
I feel like I would be like, all right, I got to check this out. I got to see what's up.
You know, it's funny. I remember when Breaking Bad was like getting ready to come out, and it was one of those like they had a trailer before a movie, and I just remember seeing him with like his tidy whities on because that was like the big scene or whatever, and I was just like, that movie or that show looks dumb to me, and I just never watched it.
Oh, there you go. And he came and visited you in his tidy whities, and you don't have any respect.
Yep, that's very true.
That's sad. Well, Bryan Cranston was on the podcast, Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, and shared this really wild story about how he lost his virginity at 16 years old to an Australian prostitute.
Yes, I was a virgin, and I was traveling with a bunch of friends in Europe. I was 16 years old. It was the thing to do. And I was actually looking forward to it and nervous as hell. Of course, I'm 16. We were out together and it's like, we're going to do this. Let's go. Let's go. And I go, yeah, sure. Let's go. And I'm like, oh God. And we go to this, the red light district in Salzburg, Austria. Whoa. And, my two older friends, they were about a year and a half older than me. And they're going in, and I started to get cold feet, and I said, I don't think I brought enough money. I don't think I have enough Austrian francs to be able to make this transaction. Sure. They both made their deals, and they went upstairs, and I said, no, I don't have the money, or trying to indicate in the universal language, right? Don't have it or whatever. And I sat down in the foyer, and then this woman came up to me, and everyone's older than you when you're 16. Yes. She came up and she goes, indicated my pockets. I go, oh, no, see, and she said, yeah. And I went, no, see, I'll show you that I don't have enough. See, that's just not. And she grabbed the money and grabbed my hands and, like.
Oh, my Lord.
And I went, oh, my God, this is happening. Oh, my God.
Wow. That is a very bizarre. I mean, that is nuts.
I mean, you can haggle anything.
Yeah.
It's like that time I got that balloon for $10 cheaper at Snowflake Lane. It's like, all I got is $10. And the guy's like, it's usually $20, but I'll take whatever you can get me.
Well, I guess
hookers
that's
are the same.
Either you get nothing and do nothing, or you get something for doing something. That's an interesting concept, which I never would imagine doing. I'd be so terrified anyway to negotiate in a situation like that. 16 years old. I mean, he's I think probably my demographic, and so back when he was 16, it was a different time. And
also he said, in a different country too. It's still in some places like in Amsterdam, New Amsterdam. Is it right?
Austria.
Right, I know Austria, but I mean,
Amsterdam.
Is it the red light district and all that? Certain places are just like whatever.
Yeah, I mean, look, as far as laws go, I'm just saying, as far as people thinking a 16-year-old should be involved in that, it was just a different time.
Yeah, fair.
Wow. But, I would be lying if I didn't say that at 16 years old, I would have been very excited for that same opportunity.
Well, do you remember, oh, man, it was forever ago, but there was movies where that was a thing. Like, you got your kid a lady of the evening.
Oh,
and that's and I remember asking my dad about that.
You interested, Dad?
I remember asking, Dad, when do I get myself one of these
well, see, that was,
and he's looking at me like, what the hell is wrong with you? And I'm just thinking, well, that's what you see in the movies. Like, at some point, don't you get your son a hooker? Like, how else am I supposed to lose my virginity? And he's just looking at him. His son's just being like, man, you're pretty problem free. but you're really stupid too.
I can't blame you for that because that was kind of a thing with, again, maybe, unfortunately times were changing when you asked, but had you been in my generation, I mean, it may have been an awkward question, but I think it's reasonable. Just that's how things were done.
I mean, just a life of letdowns. Dad didn't get me a prostitute, didn't take me to Disney World.
Yeah, they're the same, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really, really are. There's actually more to this story about Bryan Cranston losing his virginity to an Australian prostitute at 16.
We go into this room. There's a single bed. There's a sink and a trash can. That's it.
Oh, Jesus.
So I had this, and she goes, she points to my clothes like, like this. She's preparing herself.
Man, she really sets the mood.
Oh, my God. Yeah, it was a traumatic and a great, exhilarating, memorable experience, man. It was a seminal moment in a person's life when they lose their virginity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've been going back to Austria ever since.
Brian, I'm looking here. It says that you've shot your last 7 movies in Austria, in Salzburg.
It's such a beautiful place, though, Conan. It really...
I thought it was Australia, so it was Austria.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, for some reason I thought Australia would be a great place to lose your virginity, but Austria's probably not bad either.
Where all the hookers sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Clothes, give them to me.
That's why he's been happily married since 1989.
Right.
Yeah. It is, because you're right, Steve, that, hey, oh, you know what I mean? I just feel like, in that part of the world, it doesn't seem like it's very nurturing. There's just the languaging, whereas Australia, I think, would be, oh, hey, let me put your shrimp on the bobby, something like that.
Yeah, it's not known for being the language of love.
Yeah, it surely is. I can appreciate that, though, that terrifying but at the same time gratifying experience, because you just don't know the first time, like, what's happening? Is it going to happen? Oh, my God. I can appreciate that. I mean, at least for me anyway, losing my virginity. And it was not to a prostitute, but it was still just terrifying and gratifying at the same time.
Oh, my gosh. It's like the anxiety. I just remember of just like, I don't know if it's about to happen. Oh, it's happening. Crazy.
Yeah.
And then it's like, wow, that was quick. It's like, because you're just like,
oh, yeah.
This is not something I ever, you just get to a point, and I think you as well, like, it didn't happen at 16 for me. So I just thought, okay, well, maybe I'm never going to get laid.
Yeah.
Dad won't buy me a hooker. I mean, no one's helping me.
And I was also, I was one of those scared straight kids. I mean, they showed you the videos and they told you the stories. And so I was also like, I don't mind doing stuff, but I don't know if I want to lose my virginity, because what if, the videos are true and next thing you know, I'm a father. And so
right. With
I had that. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. I was just terrified of all of the things. Boy, just risk. But
someone just texted, want to know, does Joe remember the time that he lost his virginity?
Do we really want to hear these stories?
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
Why do you want to hear this story? I don't want to hear this.
That's why I asked it.
Earmuffs, BJ.
I saw the listener text it. I'm like, you know what?
Man, I'm going to earmuff it. Just tell me when to come back on the air. I'm taking my headphones off.
We could bring your daughter in, too. I mean,
yeah. Danny, wave to me, Danny, when it's time to come back on the air. I'm taking the headphones off. I'll let Joe tell the story.
You always complain that he doesn't. Oh, no. He's gone.
Oh, this is great.
He's gone. He took
we should put crazy, like, facial expressions. So, like, oh, my gosh. Wow.
All right, Joe.
All right, Joe.
Why is Sarah in the room?
She's going to hear from the other room anyway.
So throw her in a different room.
Steve's face just watching the world burn. I love it.
So great. This is so great. Okay,
Well,
Joe.
I'm not that special of a story. And I
Did
think
Dad
Vicky
buy you
already
the hooker,
knows.
and that's why he took the headphones off?
Yes, exactly. He flew me to Vegas. No, mine was just prom, but the awkward part for mine was we went to an after party, and it wasn't my house, and I had to try to find a room to do it in.
Okay.
And I was embarrassingly bad. Like, laughably bad to the point where the girl was like, yeah, that wasn't great.
Did you go on another date after that?
What?
Did you ever go on another date after that?
Oh, no. That was a first date, last date kind of situation.
Which room did you end up using?
The laundry room.
Oh, my God.
Nice.
Was it on top of the washer dryer, and did you turn it on?
No. Why
You
would we
should've,
turn it on?
That's an expert move.
Yes, it is, Joe.
He was a virgin.
I know.
Cut him some slack.
I know, it's fair.
There were no clothes being cleaned. Just disappointment.
Pro tip.
Did you use a washer or a dryer as like a form of furniture?
Kind of, but like not. Like, I didn't put them on top of it.
Got you.
Yeah.
She got stuck inside.
Not one of those videos.
You're not supposed to put her in the wrinkle-free cycle.
No. Yeah, it was not fun.
All right, Sarah. Because your dad is still sitting there without his headphones
he's
on.
not listening. He's
This is
smiling.
truly one of the funniest things ever.
Yeah, mine was 16 years old with my current boyfriend. Everyone was out of the house. I specifically remember...
So you did it at your house?
I did it at my house.
The one you live in right now?
Yep.
Oh, BJ.
Sure did. And
he can't hear this. This is so great.
yeah, we
Which
decided...
room?
We did it in the downstairs living room. So, and we decided not to do it on the couch, thinking it would be nice so people wouldn't have to sit down. I don't know.
Right.
So we did it right on the carpet, right next to the couch.
Same carpet you have now?
Same carpet we have now, and yes, it got stained, and then
literally, oh my god,
literally, like 2 seconds later, Joey comes home from working at QFC.
Do you know this, Joe?
I don't.
It is just like my boyfriend at the time and I are just like a madhouse. We're just like, now we're just trying to clean. It was very, very scary.
Well, I was going to say pulled it off, but you did. Sure.
And might I add, it honestly probably lasts like 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, of course.
No one's going for a marathon. This is a sprint.
I thought it would be a little longer than that.
Well,
though.
you were wrong.
I was very wrong. Very wrong.
I mean, it's not quite as romantic as you would have pictured it, on the floor of your living room.
Oh, yeah. We thought, I have no idea why. We thought maybe so people wouldn't sit on it. Sit on the couch. We thought we were being nice.
That's such a public space, though. Like, especially knowing your house, like anyone could have just walked in.
Anyone could have.
They did.
And Joey you were almost scarred for life, Joe.
All right.
Cool.
Do we think it's safe to bring Dad back in?
Yeah.
All right, Dad. It's okay.
Oh,
there he is.
Hey.
Oh, boy, did you miss out on some good stories,
Yeah, you
BJ.
really
Yeah,
did.
well, I can. You know what, Steve? I cannot wait until you get to my position where all of a sudden people's going to want to, hey, tell us, Steve. Let's talk about Tatum and her situations.
Well, that's why Tatum will never work with Dad.
Yeah, that doesn't mean people can't call in about it.
And that's a long way from now.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I thought so too, Sarah. I thought so too. 30 some odd years ago, thought it was a long way, and you know what? It wasn't.
Oh my gosh! Someone said I was 24. She was 18. It was in an abandoned mobile home in a trailer park that we lived in. I'm now 59.
Cool. I like
Yeah.
that.
An abandoned trailer park.
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff.
Oh my gosh!
I don't need to hear that, daughter. You can,
Hey, that wasn't me though. That wasn't me.
no.
It's a way cooler story than mine,
No.
but
She was indoors.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Thanks. The idea, Steve, was I had the headphones off, so I didn't hear any information. I just, in case you were wondering how that all
good
went
though.
down.
At least I wasn't outside. Yeah.
Again, no details is really what the goal was of taking those headphones off.
Wait, did nobody else lose their virginity outside?
No.
No, mine was in a dorm room.
Oh, I did mine on the high school bleachers.
That sounds
Oh, there
so
you go.
cold.
In December.
You got a splinter?
No, it was metal
The
bleachers.
metal bleachers.
Oh, metal.
I hope you didn't put your tongue on the bleacher.
Well, no.
Okay.
No, definitely did
Oh,
not.
boy.
Well, I mean, because stories about the tongue on the pole.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It was cold,
There's
frozen.
also other wet things, though, going on. And so at that point.
Okay, then.
Danny, was yours indoors?
Yeah. Mine was 16 after winter ball, actually.
Winter ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many jokes.
I know. I was about to say so many.
Feel free. But
My brain got overwhelmed. I can't think of them now.
We're classier than that.
BJ, was yours indoors?
Again, my children are present. Let's just say that, I was. It was typical. It was normal. There wasn't anything bizarre. There you
Vanilla.
go. That's all I got for you.
Yeah. All right.
Vanilla has been called.
Did you just shame your dad?
You just shamed your dad.
Are we surprised that he had the most vanilla first time experience? Has anything
You know what?
changed?
Listen, daughter. I'm not going to have these conversations with you. Enjoy your life.
I'll see you at home.
Yeah, exactly.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Here's a question from a listener. My house is currently in foreclosure. I've stopped making payments. What can I do to save my house?
If you're already in foreclosure behind on your mortgage, you can stop the foreclosure by filing a bankruptcy. There's different types of bankruptcy. Chapter 13 can help you catch up on your house payments if you're behind. It would mean that you'd have to start making your house payments again and catch up on the amount that you're behind over 5 years. You could also take off or strip off your second mortgage, which would help you to reduce your housing payment every month, especially once you're done with the plan and done catching up on your first mortgage. We could also try to buy you some time by filing a Chapter 13 case. Filing a Chapter 13 would definitely stop your foreclosure.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. And thanks for listening.
Getting older means a world of change, but some things still stay the same, like being at risk for type 1 diabetes, because type 1 can happen at any age. So screen it like you mean it. If just one person in your family has type 1, you're up to 15 times more likely to get it too. And 50% of type 1 diagnoses happen after the age of 18. So screen it like you mean it. Type 1 diabetes starts long before you need insulin, and one blood test could help you spot it early and lower the risk of serious complications like diabetic ketoacidosis, known as DKA. So don't get caught by surprise. Screen it like you mean it, because getting answers now can help you get prepared. The more you know, the more you can do. So don't wait. Talk to a doctor about how to get screened. Tap now or visit screenfortype1.com to learn more. Again, that's screenfortype1.com, and screen it like you mean it.
From town councils to Capitol Hill, agents who are realtors are advocating for what's right. We're working to increase affordable housing supply and ensure fair housing for all. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Some companies are big, others are small. To Robert Half, their hiring needs are equally huge. At Robert Half, our specialized recruiting professionals elevate their expertise with proprietary AI tools to transform candidate discovery, assessment, and selection. Whether sourcing talent locally or in any geography that works for you, Robert Half can pinpoint hard-to-find candidates in finance and accounting, technology, marketing and creative, legal, and administrative and customer support. At Robert Half, we know talent.
Did you know that even here in the U.S., 1 in 5 children are at risk of hunger? As a mother, it breaks my heart. That's why I support No Kid Hungry through school meal programs and community partnerships like with local food banks. They're making a real difference. Every $50 donation can help provide 500 meals for kids. Won't you please visit nokidhungry.org/chip in and give today? Your support can help ensure that more children get the meals they need and that fewer kids go to bed hungry.
Have you been in an accident that wasn't your fault? Feeling overwhelmed and unsure what to do next? Look no further. The personal injury attorneys at Phillips Law Firm are here to help. Phillips Law Firm understands that accidents can turn your life upside down. That's why they're dedicated to fighting for the compensation you deserve and to making the process as stress-free as possible. Don't wait any longer. Call now, 1-800-JUSTICE, or visit justiceforyou.com.
Looking to give the gift of pleasure? Add a little high heat to keep the desire burning. Or maybe you just need a little self-care. Come to Lovers for the best lingerie and toys to keep things hot this holiday. Save 20% on your purchase with Lovers Afterglow Rewards. Just mention Love20 at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow Rewards membership until November 30th. Some exclusions apply.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
Let's play Beat Migs.
It's time to play the game. So everybody scream his name. Beat Migs. Don't be a loser. Whoa. Beat Migs. You're a loser.
Who's ready to be Migs?
Let's go.
I hope you're ready, Steve. Are you?
Damn straight I am.
Let's see if our contestant is. Today we have Dan from Seattle. Dan, are you there?
I'm here. Good morning.
How are you doing, Dan?
Doing great.
All right, Steve, now get out.
Goodbye.
For those playing at home, Dan has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Who co-stars alongside Jeff Daniels in the comedy Dumb and Dumber?
Jim Carrey.
Yes. Peter Marshall was the host of what game show for 15 years?
Pass.
Mead is primarily made of what?
Fermented fruit.
No.
Pass.
What breed of dog holds the Guinness World Record for being the smallest?
Chihuahua.
Yes. And what was that other one? Did you say yeast?
Yeast. Correct.
No, that's not correct. The sitcom Modern Family aired on what network?
ABC.
Yes. Club soda, Kahlua, and what other alcohol makes up the mind eraser?
Vodka.
Yes. What company makes the Xbox console?
Microsoft.
Yes. What kind of animal is Hedwig from Harry Potter?
An owl.
Yes. What war ended in 1865?
The Civil War.
Yes. What decade was the first ever test tube baby born?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
What decade was the first ever test tube baby born?
The 70s.
Yes. Oh, I'm impressed.
Oh,
that is 8 correct.
Okay. All right. We got ourselves a contest.
We sure do. Wow.
Woo.
I think Dan is going to win.
Oh, do you?
I do.
Steve, Sarah's predicting your downfall.
I am. I don't think you're going to pull this one
You're
out.
supposed to be unbiased.
Oh, well, I'm biased today, so sorry. Are you ready?
Oh, yes!
She's not a basic bee. She's a biased bee.
Hell yeah. Who co-stars alongside Jeff Daniels in the comedy Dumb and Dumber?
Jim Carrey.
Yes. Peter Marshall was the host of what game show for 15 years?
Let's make a deal.
No.
Jeopardy.
No.
Price is Right.
No. Mead is primarily made from what?
Mead.
Whiskey. No.
Wool.
No.
Cotton.
No. What breed of dog holds the Guinness World Record for being the smallest?
Chihuahua.
Yes. The sitcom Modern Family aired on what network?
ABC.
Yes. Club soda, Kahlua, and what other alcohol makes up the mind eraser?
Club soda, Kahlua, and whiskey?
No.
Rum.
No.
Vodka.
Yes.
There you go.
What company makes the Xbox console?
Microsoft.
Yes. What kind of animal is Hedwig from Harry Potter?
An angry inch.
No.
A hedgehog.
No.
An owl.
Yes.
Wow.
What war ended in 1865?
The War of 1812.
No.
Civil War.
Yes. What decade was the first ever test tube baby born?
80s.
No.
70s?
Yes.
Sorry, Bella.
And with that, you get 7 correct, which is a loss.
Oh, if you test tubed it right. And both of you had only one guess for that question. He got it right and you got it wrong.
Oh, that's amazing, Dan.
Nice work, Dan.
Dan. We get 8
That was
right?
the most I've gotten right so far.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah, you got
Nice.
8 to 7.
Dan's the man. And you know what you are, Steve? You are this. Yeah, buddy. Oh, it's a great day. Oh, yeah. Woo! Oh, yeah. Can't blame me, by the way, for this one.
No. Only person I have to blame is myself.
Last
Dan.
Yeah, last beat, Migs, you try to say goalie interference, and 50-50 people are on that one as far
Actually,
as
it
me.
was 100% of the people agreed that you were being interfering.
Yeah, but I was disagreeing, and I have friends.
Oh,
okay.
Name these friends.
Yeah, really?
Well, now don't ask me to name the non-existent creatures. That's not right.
Okay, the 2 you both got wrong. Does anyone know Peter Marshall was the host of what game show
I
for
thought
15
Steve would
years?
get this, but I think it's way too. I guess it's still too early for
old school.
Love Connection.
Hollywood Squares, dude.
Hollywood
he was the
Squares.
king. You know where
We just talked about that too, I feel.
One of the big things he was, famous for is he asked people, "Where's a place you can make love?"
Okay.
And then, if you remember the funny answer that somebody gave on Hollywood Squares, it's a
Wait,
classic.
that was the Newlywed Game.
That was making
you're
Whoopi.
right. Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I
thought
didn't
it was,
even know that.
I thought it was Hollywood Squares.
No.
Your father's losing his mind.
All right,
really
well,
is.
never mind. But Peter Marshall still Hollywood
Marshall.
Squares, great.
I think he's still alive too. I think he's like.
Is he really
he's
still
up
kicking?
there? Yeah.
Sarah does love her game shows, so she would know.
I do. And does anyone know mead is primarily made from what?
Danny knows this.
Yep.
Honey?
Yeah.
What the hell is
fermented honey.
It's a type of alcohol.
Oh.
You can get it at Ren fairs. You may not like it, but you can get it at Ren fairs.
Yeah.
It's becoming like super popular.
Oh, it's really?
A lot of like the beer bottle shops have mead on tap.
Honey beer?
Now. Yeah, it's not really beer, but it's just like fermented honey.
Is it really a hipster drink?
No.
Really?
No,
Because I feel like
Vikings used to drink it, man.
Oh, pardon me.
Yeah.
Don't disrespect the Vikings.
Yeah.
Lump them in with hipsters.
All right, sorry about that.
Well,
you actually would probably
congratulations.
love it.
Really?
Super sweet.
I feel like I've had it. I don't know. I feel like I've had mead and not been a fan.
Sounds like you'd have the worst hangover ever.
I don't
if you
want
just
that.
got drunk off of that.
Yeah, because sugary alcohol doesn't make your head feel nice.
Sure doesn't.
Well, sorry, Steve.
Yeah, sorry, Steve, for losing.
You're
Dan.
Kind of a loser.
Fun fact about Dan.
Yeah?
For some reason, my kid can't say dad. She can say daddy, but she calls me Dan. And it cracks me up.
So she can
every
say
time.
daddy, but she can't say dad.
She'll be like, look, daddy. But then if she wants me to look at something, she goes, look, Dan. And I'm like, and I look at Sid and I'm like, did she just call me Dan? And I'm like, did you say Dan? She says, no. I said Dan. I'm like, did you say Dan? She says, no, Dan. Like, even though I'm like saying the same thing, she knows the context is different. It's very funny.
Wow.
Funny. Yeah,
so she knows what she's trying to say.
Right. Like for instance, she'll say spoon, but she calls it boon. So then I'll be like, do you need a boon for that? She goes, no, daddy, I need a boon. And I'm like,
She thinks you're the dumbass.
Yes.
She's like, Dad, be serious.
like
here. Or Dan.
she knows how it should sound. She's just not saying it right. But it cracks me up that she calls me Dan.
That's not going to change.
You know what's wild? I never even thought about the fact that in her mind, she's saying it right.
Yeah, 100% right.
Wow. I always thought kids knew they were saying it wrong and figured, well, I'm doing the best I can here.
No. So like when you say it the way that they're saying it, they hear it now and they're like, no, that's not the right way.
Wow, that's trippy.
I'm going to say it the exact same way you did, but you're wrong, Dad.
Oh, yeah.
Or Dan.
Whoa. I did not know they
Blowing
think they're
BJ's
saying it
mind right
right.
now.
Yeah.
Because Sarah was like, instead of orange, it would be Angie.
Angie.
And you thought you were saying orange the whole time.
Or instead of sorry, I used to say Shawnee.
Shawnee. And I bet if he said that, you'd be like, no, it's Shawnee.
Yeah.
Well, she gave us weird looks every time we would go, Shawnee. And she's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Like pizza was Peepa.
Peepa.
But we said, do you want some Peepa? She's like, no, it's pizza, you idiots.
Oh, yeah. What the hell's wrong with you people?
Now she says it correctly.
Yeah. She's
I'm
like,
a
my parents are
3-year-old. I'm
dummies.
not sure what your excuse is at this point.
What's wrong with Dan over here?
Lily's graduated to calling me father from now. That's what she wants my attention. It's not. She'll be like, if she's being
What's
sweet,
like Dunton Abbey or something?
Yeah, it's always daddy, but otherwise and Joe's seen it before too, where she's just, Father, why are you doing this? And I'm like, okay.
That's yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like she's being kind of feisty.
Oh, she's a little feisty.
You know, I mean, it's better than her saying your actual name, though. I feel like that'll eventually
my daughter's
come.
saying
Daniel. Yeah, I know, right?
She's saying Dan's name. I think she wants somebody else as a dad. Is what she's saying. I just feel like that's what's going on.
Oh,
she
that's
just want to
nice.
tell you that. That's
she's lucky. I tell you.
Oh, is she? All right.
Hell yeah.
So's Dan, whoever he is.
Dan. Look, Dan.
All right. Yeah.
Babe, are you hanging out with a man named Dan?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wouldn't that be horrible
Starts a big fight.
if you look at your wife and she's like this with the kid? Shut
Like,
up
stop,
with the Dan.
stop. Yeah,
Shut
hon.
up with the Dan.
Yeah, she's totally saying Dan.
Yeah,
meaning
it's totally
dad.
Dad. I don't know who Dan is at all. Okay.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW. Hey, you got something to say? I got something to say. They're wild, rabid, and on the loose. This is Listeners on the Loose.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's Listeners on the Loose, where you pick the topic, you guide the show. How do you get that done? Well, call our new number or text our new number. It's the same thing. 206-803-ROCK. That's 206-803-ROCK. And when you figure out all that, you know, because I know it's brand new and everything, and you got to all just, how do I do these numbers? When you get through, make sure you follow Steve's rules.
It's a simple rule, and BJ, that's to show some energy and bring it. Otherwise, we gong you. And then say goodbye.
Goodbye, old friend.
206-803-ROCK. Let's go to Andrew in Ording. Andrew, you are on the Rock.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
What you got for us, buddy?
I want to talk about guilty pleasures. Let's talk about some of the greatest movies of all time, Mel Brooks movies, History of the World Part 1 and Blazing Saddles.
Yeah, Mel Brooks and he was obviously, he and Carl Reiner got together, and Carl Reiner did a lot of stuff. Rob Reiner's his dad. They did a lot of great stuff together, and they did stuff separately, obviously, as well. Great comedy writing team for years, and movie makers. And I was never a big Mel Brooks fan. You can't argue that the movies were huge.
He did Spaceballs, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
I like Spaceballs.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, and Blazing Saddles, man, it was definitely groundbreaking. They really did a lot of stuff in that movie that some people said, whoa, for the time. Does it still?
And also Richard Pryor wrote that.
Yeah, well, that was the groundbreaking part, is that Richard Pryor got to put a lot of stuff in there that you're like, wow. And I think that, it's a movie that you may watch now and go, I can't believe they did that kind of thing. But in reality, for the time,
never make it now.
But it was a movie that changed people's ways of viewing people. And I'm glad you said Richard Pryor wrote it, because obviously Richard Pryor, an African-American performer who was standout in a time where African-Americans were really not treated very well. Definitely a lot worse than we're treating them today, and we're not treating them very well today either. That's why that movie's a powerful movie, and also, a classic. And it still holds up for you?
Oh, absolutely. I still watch it and still laugh.
Yeah,
I always wonder sometimes that some things they hold up because of the nostalgia of it all. We were having that conversation because we were doing the AEW show at a Climate Pledge Arena. We were backstage, and somebody who works with AEW, I don't know who it was, like a crew person, had a lamp by one of those production setups. And it was the leg lamp from Christmas Story.
Oh, yeah. Very iconic.
A bunch of us we're just chatting, and one person said, I try to make my kids watch it, and they were not into it whatsoever.
I don't blame them.
And I was like, that's so crazy, because it's like, to me, I would think everybody's going to love that movie because we love that movie.
I'm the same way with the Pink Panther movies, but I feel like you guys
suck.
Exactly.
My dad tried to make me watch this.
Yeah, Steve, I can't really blame you for that, because I think it's generational. I watched it because YouTube's got them free. So I was like, oh, well, it's free. Let me go see. And, because I loved Peter Sellers playing Inspector Clouseau, which, and the old Pink Panther cartoons, they sort of tied it all together. And first off, it's so dated with the references that some of them are just bad, very racist, some of the references that were never meant to be racist, but that's just how people spoke back then. And you go, wow, you can't say that
Times
today.
have changed.
And it's slow, and gun violence was. The gun violence they used in this movie, it's just you're like, we couldn't do that today. Not the way they addressed it.
My issue with the Pink Panther was my dad would put it on, and I would get so fired up from the intro because it was a cartoon.
Yeah,
and I'm like, ooh, ba-doo, 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 and I'm like, this is gonna be so much fun. And then all of a sudden, it becomes real time and boring. And I'm like, oh man, they just stuck with the cartoon.
Yeah.
I like the actual Pink Panther.
Yeah, and even the comedy in the movie, I'm like, wow, it takes way too long. But there were still some great comedy writing scenes, but it takes too long for you to get there for the average person. But I roared when I was a kid. But I'm looking at it, and I was looking at it going, man, I've seen a lot of great comedies since then. And this just doesn't hold up. I hate to say it, even though, Peter Sellers was I think he's dead. He was a great, great actor.
Someone has a question that I think stems from yesterday's conversation. Because I said earlier, so it's yesterday, Vicky mentioned that she likes to listen to murder podcasts, while having friends over. And you all thought that was weird. And I agree with you. Vicky, why are you so weird? LOL.
How much time you got? No. I had some friends over, and we do what's called a whiskey craft night, where we drink whiskey and we work on a project. But I don't like things to be quiet. So I said, I like Bailey Sarian, who does Murder Mystery Makeup and Dark History podcast on YouTube and stuff. We can do that, or I can do a trivia podcast, whatever's.
And Did you offer up music?
I offered up music. I'm like, tell me what playlist you want to put on Spotify, whatever you want. I got you. They picked Murder Mystery Makeup, and that's what we were listening to. And I was just getting pissed off that they weren't shutting up, because I'm like, I have to keep rewinding it or pausing it. I'm like, you got to talk.
Are they fans of this Murder Mystery podcast?
Yeah. And they're the ones that
I'd pretend to answer my phone and be like, oh, Tatum doesn't feel good. I got to go.
It was at my house.
Yeah, I would leave.
Yeah, you would leave your own house.
Here's my question, though.
Even if Tatum was like right there, I'd make it up. That's another Tatum. I have another child, an illegitimate child. I named them both Tatum. That way I don't screw things up.
My question for you, though, Vicky, is why would you suggest something that you didn't want to be interrupted while listening to?
That's a good question.
We've talked. I've mentioned, hey, have you listened to this podcast before? This isn't the first time we've hung out and listened to it. And on previous occasions, we watched/listened, and everyone was quiet, doing their own craft. Cool. This time around, I'm like, what do you guys want to do?
People wanted to talk to each other.
They wanted to talk. It was only 3 of us total, so I'm like, okay, I'll pause it.
See, that's everyone does things differently. I understand that, but I just didn't want people to come over to my house and do something where they need to be quiet. I would just put on some music in the background and be like, let's hang out and let's have fun and be sociable, as opposed to come over and don't say a freaking word because I'm listening to
Right, or that's why I would put on a movie. I wouldn't ask for opinions, first off. And secondly, I would just put on a movie that I don't care about. That's like putting on a new
Titanic
movie.
or something.
Yeah, because I've seen it so many times. I could quote it, but we're going to have conversations.
I don't think Vicky is going to get this, and it's not a slam on Vicky. There are people, I know people, who just don't realize the pure suggestion of putting something on that's supposed to be background and making it foreground. I don't think Vicky gets that is usually a faux pas for a social gathering.
So is the hope that you listen and then at some point you all collectively say, let's pause it and reflect on what we just listened to?
Yeah, but we were all super in depth working on what our projects were. They were doing it's like the art, but with beads. Instead of paint by numbers, they're with beads. So everyone was super focused on their projects.
But they still wanted to talk. It's like having a book club, but saying instead of talking about the book, let's just bring the books and read them at book club.
That's what I always thought it was, is that there was a reason that everyone would get together and just read.
Honestly, I think that'd be amazing.
See, Vicky,
I always thought that was the dumbest idea.
You realize you're atypical, right?
I know. I'm not saying that this is normal, but it makes sense to me why some people can go hang out and they don't have to say anything. And I think if
that's a very guy thing too, man.
Right,
dudes are like that more so than
I'll be at a restaurant like my buddy Munson, and we'll just be sitting there and not saying a word for maybe a good 30 minutes, and then all of a sudden one of us will just be like, how about that game yesterday? Man, Kraken looking good. And then back at it again.
I'm a person who can't have it. I get awkward, especially around new people, and there needs to be some sort of conversation going. But the fact that I am comfortable enough around these people that I don't have to say anything, and nor do I expect them to say anything, I think that's pretty awesome. I could sit there. We can both play on our phones, my best friend and I, and just say nothing.
But for you to, but I'm just saying is you, and I talk to people like you all the time, because in the board game world, there are people just like you. So, and I tell them, you can't be mad at people for being social. We have a group of people.
You didn't threaten to stab anyone.
No, I just kept pausing it. The first episode, nobody said, everyone could hear it. Everyone was
I don't think
listening.
Vicky's getting it. I mean,
No.
you can't complain about people wanting to be social at a social gathering because you're the outlier. I have board game friends, and they get mad. They go, I don't understand this. Why aren't we playing the board game? I go, dude, all of us haven't seen each other for a long time. This is a social gathering, and we have a lot of social outgoing people that are in this group. Of course they're going to talk to each other.
Yeah, if I'm having a get-together, it's either music's in the background, or if a football game's on or a hockey game, I'll put that in the background because it's so not necessary to pay full attention to.
I have to have lectures to people like Vicky all the time.
You should do a TED Talk.
Because they don't get it. They go, I don't understand why people are being social at this social gathering. It's because it's a social
Here's
gathering.
the thing. I didn't pick this particular episode.
See, Vicky's not gonna
listen.
We are listening. I'm done listening.
No.
To be honest with you. Can you start the podcast again?
Yeah.
I'm done listening.
Yeah. It's just, look, it's just that people like to get social.
Then don't pick that then.
Okay.
Don't offer it.
That's the
what
point.
do you like? I'm
Okay,
like, what
Vicky's
do you want?
not letting it go.
No, I'm not. You're not letting it go.
If it's something that bothers you that people are not going to put 100% attention to, don't offer it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Vicky.
Just
It's
put
a
on
faux
song.
pas. It's a faux pas to offer something.
You can't get
that
mad at them for that.
They have to be foreground. You don't offer foreground entertainment for a social gathering because that's what people want to be. They want to be social.
I just want to give people what they want.
Okay, I don't know about
They
that.
want to talk, and you're getting mad at them for talking.
Yeah, I feel like you don't want to give people what they want.
Because then later they're like, hey, what happened on this episode? What's going on? I'm like, I don't want to answer.
All right, Steve, you tapped out, and you
No.
tapped me in. Is there a third person in this match that we
No.
can tap in?
Danny already ran for the doors.
Yeah, Danny's
No.
out.
We're going to have to leave you with the great Joe Sheeny.
Joe Sheeny? Is that a new Italian
Joe
dish?
Sheeny.
There you go.
I'm going to make this topic disappear.
Yeah, there's no magic trick that can save this.
Please.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
It's time to talk about Felix, the pet insurance brand made just for cats. Starting at under $1 a day, you can get whisker-to-tail protection with a plan as unique as your cat. Sorry, dogs. This customizable coverage is exclusively for feline friends. Learn more at FelixCatInsurance.com. That's FelixCatInsurance.com. Get it? Meow.
Insurance is underwritten by Independence American Insurance Company and produced by Independence Pet Group. Pre-existing conditions are not covered. Visit FelixCatInsurance.com/terms for all terms and limitations.
This holiday season, make your journey memorable with Travel Centers of America, where our motto is simple: return every traveler to the road better than they came. Avoid any hassle and stop at our one-stop shop for all your holiday travel needs. Fuel up, indulge in delicious snacks, and dine at one of our full-service restaurants. Hit the road with peace of mind knowing we've got you covered. For more info, go to ta-petro.com. Travel Centers of America, your road to happy travels.
These days, every new potential hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. You want to be 100% certain that you have access to the best qualified candidates available. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs help find the right people for your team faster and for free. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/decide. That's linkedin.com/decide to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
Transit is better with an Orca card. Here's why. 1, it's easy. Just tap and pay your way onto Metro and all other public transit around the Sound. 2, your tap shows us when and where you're riding the most, so Metro can serve you better. And 3, Orca cards are for everyone. 18 and younger now ride free with a free youth Orca card. So what are you waiting for? Get an Orca card, tap for transit, and make your ride count today. Visit kingcounty.gov/tap for transit.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's listeners on the loose. 206-803-ROCK. That's the number to call and text us. 206-803-ROCK. Let's go to James on I-5. James, you are on The Rock.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Good morning.
What you got for us?
I was just recapping on what you guys were talking about shows being generational and not holding up. But one show that me and my wife had our kids indulge and they totally love is The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That show to me is generational and can be enjoyed years and years and years from now,
James,
I believe.
that is awesome. I mean, if your kids dig it and you dig it, that itself shows that the show is a quality show.
Because I was going to say, like, when someone says it stands the test of time, but the person who's saying it is it's like you can't be unbiased because you grew up with it. But the fact that your kids are into it, that does mean that it does stand the test of time.
Yeah,
there's some times where certain shows from especially back in that day. It was educational, but in certain ways that only certain ages would understand when they hear it. Because my 9-year-old listening to it wouldn't get some of the things that my 14-year-old would. And so I think that makes a really great show.
I appreciate the call, James. You know, it's a sad thing, and I'm thinking of Will Smith. I have heard nothing but great and rave reviews about the movie he did, Emancipation, which I think is on Apple TV Plus.
I want to see that.
And
I see all the it always pops up when I pull up Apple TV Plus, and I'm just like, I decide not to, and then my wife slaps me, and it's very weird. I don't know why she keeps doing that, but... Sorry.
But that's unfortunately the thing, is that because of that Oscars incident, I feel like, people just are going, I'm kind of done with Will Smith. And even he put out a thing when the movie came out. He said, so many great people worked on this. I know my behavior was what it was, but please don't punish the great folks that made this movie. But everybody says they love it. A show that stands up to the test of time, I want to, only because it's its 30th anniversary, and I want to bring it up, is Star Trek Deep Space Nine. I just read online. And
how do you say it stands the test of time?
How do I stand?
How can you say that?
How can I say that?
Yeah, because you grew up with it, so you can't say it.
Oh, well,
Did your daughter tell you that?
I guess that's a good point. I will say this. What stands the test of time for me is the first 2-hour episode. I think a lot of it doesn't, Steve. I think a lot of it is kind of dated when it comes to what I see on TV now. But the first episode of it was, for its time, I thought really revolutionary because it dealt with subject matter. And it also, Gene Roddenberry said, I want the future to always be utopian. There's no bad human beings. All human beings are great. He always made the aliens the a-holes, but this
Except for
show...
Russell Wilson, though.
Yeah, Russell Wilson, yeah. I think he would have been a Klingon probably in that show. But it was in this is a series that people did not like because they thought Roddenberry wouldn't want this. Because it showed the dark side of what the future could be, because humans aren't. What makes you think humans are going to not be different than they are now, which is they're going to be mean to each other from time to time. They're going to do stuff. There's going to be wars. And Deep Space Nine did that. And the first episode was really a powerful episode that even today I thought, wow, because I watched it last year. And a lot of the episodes were not, I'm like, God, I don't need these. But this one I thought, the first one I thought, it's still like hit me. It's still like, wow. I liked it better now than I did when I was in my 30s when it came out, because I think I was too young to appreciate what they were trying to do.
Now we got to find a young person to watch it for the first time.
Yeah.
And then we can find out if it truly stands.
Maybe
Vicky at her next party, she can invite a bunch of people over and put Star Trek on.
Yeah. It's funny because we were talking about doing stuff like that, like a whatever. 9 years ago today, I posted, can we have a party where we just hang out and listen to music and read and not talk to each other? I literally posted about that 9 years ago today on Facebook. Not random.
And that's a guy party. Yeah. I mean, for the most part.
Include dancers, and then, yes.
Yeah, then you get the guy party.
Books.
And Vicky, I single you out because I am your direct opposite, because I'm the guy that likes to go hang out with the women at parties because I like to talk. And most men go, dude, go in the other room. You're killing me. I just want to sit here, watch the game, or just get a little silence. And I'm not that guy. I'm the guy that wants to yap all the time, and I drive men crazy.
I just want to be alone together.
See? I mean, really, we should just exchange essences like a trading places. Oh, really? All right. It's listeners on the loose, 206-803-ROCK. That's 206-803-ROCK. You can text us to that number, too.
So since it's my 30th birthday today, can I get a shout-out? Melissa from Graham. Absolutely not.
Happy birthday, Melissa.
Happy birthday. Big 30.
It's a big one.
Was that the Dirty 30?
Yeah. Dirty 30. That's when you start turning the corner, and you realize.
To what?
That's when you start turning the corner?
Well, you do a little bit.
What corner are we turning?
Yeah, you start. Isn't that the age where you start going, I think I'm getting older? I think 30 was that for me.
I haven't hit that age yet, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, that is true. Have you hit the age yet, Steve, where you go, gosh, I'm getting older?
Well, yeah. When I'm sitting on the floor for an extended period of time, and then Tatum just bolts, and I'm like, I gotta get to her. And it's like, oh, don't worry about these old bones.
Oh, I can't even get to the floor anymore. I need a piece of furniture to get to the floor now. That's how bad my knees are.
Use your walking sticks.
That you do, dude. You make that as a joke, and I'm telling you, sometimes I have.
All right, someone has a very good and important question. Which cup holder? My wife and I were having this conversation, a little bit of an argument. Which cup holder does the driver get?
I love this conversation.
Top or bottom?
Yes, because if you have side to side, not a problem. But if you got the top to top situation, top to bottom, that's tough.
Right, that's what we have.
Oh, I know exactly what the driver should always get.
Whichever one I say he because it's me. Whatever one I want.
Okay, I'm not sure.
Top.
I don't know. Yeah,
I want the top.
That's what you're supposed to get as the driver.
Yeah.
That's what I've always taken.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone tries to take the top, I give them the look like, are you driving right now?
No. Yeah, the top is for the driver.
Yeah, luckily my wife doesn't care.
Yeah.
She just is like, put my cup wherever you want. It's just easier to grab while you're driving. Right. You don't have to deal with trying to dig in between the things.
Well, first off, I don't know. I don't know. I would love to know more from this person. Why is there a fight over this from the passenger? You're getting driven. Well, you know what? I mean, I'd hold that thing between my legs if you're driving me.
I'm going to start surge pricing these rides.
Oh, that'd be a great idea. So sorry you're having the problem, but yeah, we all agree it's top.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look at this. For the first time, everybody in this show.
This might be wow. 2023. This is a different show.
Yeah, baby. I'm telling you, it's all about unification. I'm all for it.
So there's a Migs. I saw you hanging with Vicky Guerrero at AEW. That must have been surreal. Yes, it absolutely was.
Were you her guard?
I was. I was there to. It was funny because once they I got to work as an extra for AEW, and so the extras are the local wrestlers from around town, and some came from other parts of town, some from Canada, some from Oregon, and some get an opportunity to actually have a match, and the rest of us, they use you for whatever they need. Maybe to go run some memory cards to the cameraman, or go grab something for a wrestler, or for me, I was escorting a couple of the female talent, Vicky Guerrero and Leva Bates, to a meet and greet. And then I just kind of stand there, but they give you the staff shirt. Then all of a sudden you start feeling like you're like, all right, some guy's getting a little too close. So I'd kind of just stand in between them and just to try and make sure things were cool. But it was Vicky Guerrero's a legend in the world. Like Eddie Guerrero's wife, obviously a great on-air character. And she is the nicest person in the world. But she was cracking me up the entire night. Like whenever people would come up, because she was trying to promote this cool online community for female wrestling fans called Heels. And it's just a place for like female AEW fans.
I love the play on words with
It's
that.
very cool. And they do like virtual meetups and they do discounts on certain things. And it's a safe space for everybody. And it's awesome. And so they were there trying to get people to sign up, or they would take pictures with people who were members of that community if they'd show proof. But, everyone sees her and people just come up, hey, Vicky, can I get a picture? She just go, no. And like the character voice. And everybody, not a single person was mad. Everyone laughed and goes, no problem, love you, Vicky. I'm like, and I looked at her and go, you're a legend. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, nobody else can just out and out say no in the most like stern way and get that much love in return.
What a great character where you basically can do that, and that's in your character.
And another person's like, can I get an autograph? No, but I have this sign that I take everywhere. I'm going to be bringing it to WrestleMania. She's like, I'm not at WrestleMania. This is AEW, not WWE. Oh, I love you. I grew up with you. You're making me feel like she kept coming back with like just zingers. And it was just great because, she could get away with it. And with a big smile on her face, and everybody walked away happy. She was awesome.
Yeah.
It was a really fun experience just to kind of witness her. And just the love that a lot of fans have. And obviously a lot of people have love for Eddie Guerrero, who's no longer with us. And that's her husband. And she's a widow, obviously. But, so you could tell that was still – that meant a lot to her. Didn't know that, like, guys coming up with Eddie Guerrero shirts.
Oh,
little
yeah.
kids saying, like, not sure who she was. And then the dad's like, that was Eddie Guerrero's wife. And then the kid's like, I love Eddie Guerrero. And it's like a little 7-year-old. I was like, that was pretty badass. It was a fun experience. Yeah, so that was cool.
Yeah, and you said again, you were treated like a king.
Everybody was.
Which is, man, the wrestling business does it right.
At least everyone in behind the scenes with AEW were phenomenal.
Yeah, and I've had experiences with WWE again, and never a bad experience.
And I probably want to know, how was the catering? Now that's a question.
Yeah, because you weren't wrestling, so you didn't have to worry about whether or not you were going to be too full, not too full.
Oh, the minute I found out I wasn't having a match, BJ, that plate got huge.
What did they? So they had stuff that you could eat back there.
Well, fortunately, one of their big stars is vegan, and that's Brian Danielson.
Oh, how fortunate!
Very fortunate. They had these. They had like these. Was it poke or poke? I don't know.
Poke.
Okay, so they had these little like personal poke like cups.
That's amazing
for everybody. Like they were there, and like obviously that was a big hit. So people, but they also had vegan versions of them.
Yeah, because I was going to say poke is not vegan. How'd they do that?
They use beets.
Oh, you can't beat that.
Honestly, dude, I don't like beets, but whatever they did to season it, it was amazing. Once I realized, they weren't going, because they were like, be respectful. Like, obviously, this catering's there for like the stars.
Be respectful.
Well, they know like a bunch of bottom feeder local wrestlers baby. Are like, let's eat all the food and get our money. Right. So they're like, let everyone eat, like grab stuff, but like, make sure it's a little bit later in the night. So, as the night went on, I'm like, nobody's touching these vegan ones. So I'm just crushing them, BJ. I'm just like,
nice.
This is the best day ever in wrestling. I love being a wrestler.
That's the time where you're happy to be a vegan, man.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. If I call Travis, will I actually see him or someone who works for him?
Absolutely. When you come in to my office, when you first call in, my staff will try to help you with any basic questions that you have. I can give you a call back, but they'll usually try to schedule you for a free consultation with me, the attorney, and I'll meet with you personally. We'll talk about the basics of your case, and I'll take you through a question and answer session that an interview that usually lasts about 30 minutes. We'll get the basics of your financial situation. I can answer your questions, and we can talk about whether bankruptcy makes sense, your non-bankruptcy options, and how bankruptcy could affect you, what the process is.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
Getting older means a world of change, but some things still stay the same, like being at risk for type 1 diabetes, because type 1 can happen at any age. So screen it like you mean it. If just one person in your family has type 1, you're up to 15 times more likely to get it too. And 50% of type 1 diagnoses happen after the age of 18. So screen it like you mean it. Type 1 diabetes starts long before you need insulin, and one blood test could help you spot it early and lower the risk of serious complications like diabetic ketoacidosis, known as DKA. So don't get caught by surprise. Screen it like you mean it, Because getting answers now can help you get prepared. The more you know, the more you can do. So don't wait. Talk to a doctor about how to get screened. Tap now or visit screenfortype1.com to learn more. Again, that's screenfortype1.com. And screen it like you mean it.
When looking for a partner in your property search, know that agents who are realtors are different. Realtors are bound by a code of ethics, putting your best interests first. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Some companies are big, others are small. To Robert Half, their hiring needs are equally huge. At Robert Half, our specialized recruiting professionals elevate their expertise with proprietary AI tools to transform candidate discovery, assessment, and selection. Whether sourcing talent locally or in any geography that works for you, Robert Half can pinpoint hard-to-find candidates in finance and accounting, technology, marketing and creative, legal, and administrative and customer support. At Robert Half, we know talent.
Did you know that 1 in 5 children across the U.S. are at risk of hunger right now? As a grandmother, I know the importance of a filled tummy and the joy it brings. This holiday season, I invite you to join me in filling a few extra plates for the millions of hungry kids out there. With a $10 donation, you can help provide up to 100 meals. Please visit nokidhungry.org/chip in today, because every child deserves a full heart and a full belly.